And we are live. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake, helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another FAQ Friday for the fans of the channel. We are currently on YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, twitch.com, x.com, formerly Twitter, and kick.com. We are multi-streaming today. We're going to be diving into YouTube analytics. And just so you can see that, we're going to be going over any and all questions you have about YouTube analytics, optimization. We'll talk a little bit about the things you need to know about the general overall YouTube algorithm for each one of the formats in YouTube, shorts, live streaming, and videos, of course. So we'll be talking all about that. We'll be answering any of your questions, especially the ones you guys have in the super chats. So we'll definitely be doing that. Also, want to shout out today's sponsors for the live stream. We have some wonderful sponsors linked in the description. That is our good friends over at Streamyard, which is how we're able to live stream across 6 different platforms all at once right now. So like I said, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we are on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we are on x.com, formerly Twitter, and of course, we're on kick.com as well, trying to be in every monetized platform that we possibly can. So make sure you're checking out Streamyard, making streaming simple for all of your needs. Also, repurposing your content, super important in today's day and age to get on all monetized platforms. I'm uploading short form clips across my platforms. And for that, I'm using our friends over at OpusClip, also linked in the description down below. This AI tool is conveniently helping me to repurpose my content without having to do a bunch of editing myself with convenient AI tools, motion, animated text, even a beta feature to insert B-roll. So make sure you're checking out OpusClip. And of course, our third sponsor, Kajabi, making sure I'm not being a digital sharecropper, living off of my AdSense earnings and allowing me to do my private membership, Awesome Creator Academy, sell micro courses that are $99, digital download templates, and more, including one-on-one coaching. So make sure you're checking out Kajabi if you're an education creator that wants to build your own online business. So thank you to our sponsors. So let's go ahead and jump into analytics here. We can answer any and all of your questions in the chat, so make sure you're getting them in. If you're in the live chat, make sure that you use the letter Q so that I know what your questions look like. So Michael Superbacker has a question. He says, Roberto, I was once monetized. I am currently not. Do you think it'll be fast approval when I reach 4,000 view hours again? It should be, since you've been previously approved in the partner program. So I don't think it'll be long at all. Usually approval for the YouTube partner program takes less than 72 hours once you send the application. But in the worst case scenario, it would take 30 days. So that's a whole thing. I've done an entire video, by the way, about the YouTube monetization process and the approval process. If you guys want to check that out, it is on my channel. Deer Hunting Cajuns has a question. Hey, Roberto, can you take a break on your YouTube video schedule without hurting your analytics, i.e. if I upload the same time every week and then I skip 2 to 3 weeks? I don't recommend it. You can even see this here with my channel, that this is returning viewers and this is unique viewers. I think I can only see these for 90 days. I don't think I can do it for 365 days. It doesn't, well, you can see it, but it doesn't give you the data the same way. I'll tell you this, uploading as frequently as possible is ideal, because when I take breaks, boy, do I feel it when I take breaks. All right. So I took a lot of upload breaks in 2013, actually throughout the whole pandemic, to be honest with you. I uploaded 75% less videos. I would take weeks off, sometimes months off at a time in between uploads. It's no bueno. I don't care what YouTube says about this. You do suffer for it in the algorithm. Now, well, not in the algorithm. You suffer for it on the platform. I don't blame the algorithm for that. But if you stop uploading, your audience has less frequent content for you to watch. Watch history plays a role in how your videos are served. So you have to be consistent again for weeks and weeks and weeks, usually to dig yourself back out of the hole. Becomes a problem even for me. It's why sometimes my videos struggle more than they overall should. If you look at my entire 2023 analytics from January 1st through December 31st, if you look at here and you look at, okay, when I'm uploading, things were going well. But then I take this massive break and you see like a whole almost 2 months without uploading becomes a problem. Consistent again, things start to get back good. But then here I go with another break, you know, another month-long break. And then it's like, oh, and it gets me into the hole. And then another intermittent break. And then the hole gets worse. Dig myself out of it in June. And things go well, but oh, wait, here's that lack of consistency back into the valley of despair, and so on and so forth. And so is the virtuous cycle. So every time I took 2 to 3 week breaks, you could see that my channel suffered for it. And that became harder and harder to dig out of the hole. So cautionary tale, take it from me. I know that you have to deal with mental health or things in real life or whatever, but just realize that, yeah, your YouTube channel will suffer while you don't feed it. If you don't feed your YouTube channel will suffer. People who upload like once a month and they have a banger and they go viral all the time, those are rare. Those are outliers. The rest of us mere peasants do not have the luxury. So that's just kind of how it is. Oh, wait, you can't see my my 23 stats. Hang on. I was in a different screen. My bad. So yeah, here's my 23 stats, the whole year. Boom, 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 boom. You see it. When I'm uploading, things are working. When I take a break, oh, here comes the dip, the valley of despair that I talked about. It's all due to infrequent uploading. And it's not enough for me just to live stream, by the way. I have to upload actual YouTube videos. So anytime I took 2 to 3 weeks off or took a month off, there we go into the valley of despair. So it just means I'm not reaching new viewers. There's less stuff for my returning viewers to watch. But when I upload more consistently back to back, then things get better. But the longer I go without uploading consistently and frequently back to back, the worse things get over time. So you can take it from me. You can look at this example over the course of a year of how things play out. With taking multiple long breaks. I took a break from the end of October, basically through most of the winter holidays, November to December. I tried to be more present for the holidays, but boy, did the channel suffer during the highest CPM months for making that decision to be more present. I don't regret it, but it did make things really hard for the channel. So that's just how it is. And so a lack of uploads, even with live streams to supplement, the lack of uploads just really wreck a channel. So no matter what YouTube says about taking breaks, yes, it hurts your channel. Did they program the algorithm to hurt or punish your channel for it? No, I don't believe that. And they'll refute that. And they're correct. They're correct when saying, oh, we don't make the algorithm punish you for that. But I'm saying that's just the nature of people. People want you to keep feeding them videos, feeding them content. And if you're not doing it, someone else will. And so it'll change their viewing behavior. So the more consistent you can be, the less you can take breaks, the better your channel will be. If you just never miss an upload for a week, your channel will thrive. But if you take 2 to 3 week breaks, your channel will suffer for it. And you can see it in my chart here. It's just how it is. Just how it is, my friends. And there's not really much you can do about it other than try to say, all right, well, what if I, just film some evergreen content that can sit there in advance. That's probably the best thing you can do. Yeah, that's probably the best thing you can do. But overall, yeah, your channel just tends to suffer when you can't consistently upload. In fact, actually, let me go back into advanced mode because I think I can show a metric like number of uploads, videos published. Okay, yeah. So this chart like kind of helps you better understand exactly what's going on. So if you look at this chart, the green represents me uploading and publishing videos. And you can see that consistency is rewarded, taking breaks is not. And so in proportion to the videos that I published, the more consistent I am, the better things were. The less consistent I was, oh boy. So yeah. And then if we take that even further, that was for 2013. We can look at it for 2014. And yep, you can see that as well. This spike is just me scheduling live streams. This is like scheduling live streams for the green spike. So you can't really pay attention to that. But man, does it hurt to not upload videos? So if we go even further beyond, and so yeah, you can see the more consistent, and we won't go daily, we'll go for this, we'll go weekly. Yeah. So the more consistent my uploads were in general, the better my channel tend to do over time throughout the lifetime of my channel. So for the lifetime of my channel, more uploads is better and is healthier, but less uploads, per week, not so much. And then if we do it and look at by month, so maybe that gives a clear indication. If you look at by month, even in the early days, just to get momentum and to build up momentum, I had to upload more, and eventually went to daily. And then you can see that as I upload less, that the views over time decline. And so this is on a long period of time. So again, the best thing you can do is just to be consistent in your uploads. So yeah, you can see here, even with the yearly, you can see a massive correlation. You can see a massive correlation between my overall uploads and then improved performance, and that performance declines in proportion to the number of uploads. So don't let anyone tell you quality over quantity. Data would beg to differ. And this chart doesn't just play out on my YouTube channel, it plays out on a lot of YouTube channels. You can check your own advanced analytics over time, and you'll see something very similar. Let's see. Yep. Rosa Deanna says, hey, Roberto, I made into YouTube partner program in 4 weeks. Thanks for all your tips all these years. No problem. Congratulations to you. Mr. Floyd Channeling says, just cost 300 subs yesterday. Nice. Congratulations. Hats off to you. Hey, Vern. Vern asks, Roberto, can taking a break be good for the channel after coming back, being refreshed? A lot of people think that, and they would like us to say that for mental health reasons. I find that in general, just not taking breaks is what benefits YouTube the most. And you can feel, oh, I'm more refreshed, I'm more this and that, but that's just an emotional thing, and that's just us rationalizing. The reality is the thing is a soulless algorithm. It's a soulless, heartless machine. And so continuing to feed it is what works. I mean, it's just how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie to you just so that you can say, oh, wow, he's, much more thoughtful about mental health. Or I'm not going to virtue signal to you. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to show you straight up that, for most creators, there are exceptions like a Mr. Beast or somebody. For most creators, you have to feed this thing 1 to 3 times a week. You have to feed it 1 to 3 times a week. My best success was largely when I was making either daily videos or making 100 to 200 videos a year. I mean, you can see it in the data that, that was the case, that I did the best when that happened. And that's just on views. If we even go by subscribers, and so if we correlate my subscribers to videos published, even that is directly correlated. You can see the proportionality. So it just is what it is. I gained more subscribers predicated on uploading more content typically. 97 videos, almost 70,000 subs. 86 videos, 60,000. 90,000 subs, 150 videos. 100,000 subs, 200 and something videos. 100,000 subs, 300 videos, so on and so forth. And it's just basically more or less just how my channel has always worked. And again, you can look in your own advanced analytics using the same settings as me, and you can find these results for yourself. But this is just typically how it plays out. Is there's a correlation directly between publishing frequency and growth that is very hard to get around. And no matter what excuses or rationalizations we make, or how much we wish it were different for mental health reasons, or that it wasn't a dependency on just this upload consistency and cadence, as much as we'd like that to be true, it just isn't. It's just how it is, black and white, plain as day for most content creators. There are exceptions to the rule, though. Lois Lenora, thank you for the $5 super chat. Question: would you recommend for a smaller channel with fluctuating viewership to post 2 to 3 times a week? Absolutely, I would, especially for momentum purposes. And I found that that's what helped me and many creators the most. That's what grew Graham Stephan. That's what grew Ali Abdal. That's what grew me. That's what grew most creators, with very few exceptions. Yep. And we're probably going to be here for about maybe 2 hours today. So we're going to do the stream for about 2 hours today. We'll answer your questions. We'll show any data that we can to support. Saffron Sage Astrology says, Roberto, lately on my live streams, they do well. YouTube is still prioritizing lives of regular videos, or would it be because of the watch time being longer? It's probably the watch time for you. I don't think that necessarily prioritizes it. It's just that maybe if that's your focus and that's what people have been responding to, that there's a reason for it. And maybe people really like your personality and spending time with you. But I would say at some point you want to balance videos and live streams, possibly also shorts at some point. I'm working out a specific short strategy that I want to implement, but I'm stockpiling my shorts because I want to stockpile them. And then I want to release 3 to 4 of them a day, do 100 shorts in 30 days if I can, and then do a case study on it. So that's kind of my plan. Raphael Ludwig says, Roberto, how often should you promote a course or product? Every few videos, or as much as you can when appropriate? Maybe every 1 out of 3 videos. I would say out of one out of every 3 videos, but I would say you could promote it more in your community tab. And you could promote it once a week in your YouTube community tab, maybe twice a week. And I would say every 1 out of 3 videos. And I think that that would balance it enough to be able to drive traffic to your thing for the people who are really interested in it and who would make sure that they see it. I would also make an unlisted video that you could promote to people by linking to it so that they know what to expect, what's in the course, give them some free upfront value. So I would definitely do something like that, and that would help you. You should make a better profile pic. I think my current profile pic is fine. I think just throwing my profile pic in there with the play button is more than fine. It's social proof. I don't think I need to do anything different than that. Yeah, but appreciate the feedback, but I think I'm fine. Bob James says, hey, Roberto, need to write some scripts for talking head videos. I'm battling with niche, macro niche, and wondering about niche versus audience growing with you seasonally, trends, audience growing with you. So, I mean, it depends on your content overall. When it comes to niching down, I have a thought and a little bit of a philosophy around this. Nope, that's the scaling platform slide. I need the slide for... Ikigai. There we go. So yeah, I need the Ikigai slide. So when it comes to your niche, there's ability and then there's market fit, right? There's ability and there's market fit. So for a lot of you who are struggling to find your niche, this slide is actually exactly what you need to understand. You can feel free to screenshot this. This is something I teach in the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group. We actually talked about it in office hours last night. We do office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the private pro group for Awesome Creator Academy. And you got the information on our website. But too many creators, they talk a lot about the thing that they probably talk about the most is they talk about passion and they talk about monetization. But they rarely talk about their skills, and they rarely talk about the market, aka the audience. And so here's the thing. To really succeed on YouTube, you need to figure out ability, and ability is the intersection of your passion and skills. Ideally, that leads to mastery. And then you need to figure out your market fit, and your market fit is who the audience is, the size of the market, who the market is, and then how you're going to monetize, how you're going to have a business plan that can support that. And so that's market fit. What do people want, and what can I make money from? Or how can I make money serving them? So what do people want? How do I make money serving them? That's your market fit, is the monetization plus the size of the total addressable market, what we sometimes call TAM, total addressable market. So that's your market fit. Monetization plus market size equals market fit, or market demand. Monetization plus market demand equals market fit. And then your passion and your skills, well, that's your ability. And in the best case scenario, it leads to mastery, because you're passionate enough about something, you have some skill or ability at, and the passion would lead you to get better at 1% better every day at refining those skills. So the thing is, if you're passionate about it, you will have the ability to persevere through difficult times and achieve mastery. So now that you've mastered something, now you can serve an audience that is also passionate about that and desires the skills that you bring to the market and bring to the table, and will reward you for that, aka monetization. You'll be rewarded for that. You need all of these things in balance in order to know what your purpose is and what your reason for doing something is. And that's Ikigai, your reason for being. So this is the intersectionality of Ikigai. This comes from Eastern philosophy. Those of you who've been tuning into the streams or who have been watching me for a long time know how big of a fan I am of Eastern philosophy and old world wisdom. So I believe that it's one of the best things you can do is learn about Eastern philosophy and old world wisdom. And so with Ikigai, this comes from Okinawa, Japan. They have some of the most happy, fulfilled, long-lived people. And it's because they all understand and intuitively come to be on a path in life where they understand their purpose for being, they understand why they're getting up in the morning, and they throw themselves with vigor into mastering their craft, their skills. They serve their community, and they know how they're going to be rewarded for that because they figured this out. For YouTube, this is going to be your happy place. This is going to be how you avoid burnout. This is how you're going to succeed in your career. So you're going to say, here are the skills I need and that I'm actually good at. Here's where they align and intersect with my passion. Here are the people who also care about the thing that I'm passionate about and need what I provide. And then here's how I get paid from that. Here's how someone like me makes money. So the thing is, if you have skills and you know how to make money, you just have a profession. And if you're not passionate about it, you'll burn out. And then if there's not a market demand for that, well, you'll starve. So you kind of need that to work, because if there's not enough people in the market, then you might not be able to make enough money to survive. So you need a big enough market for what you do. You need to know how that market makes money. Maybe there's a big audience, but maybe they're all broke, and maybe there aren't any sponsors or anything like that. That's really rough on people, especially like anime and gaming. So the thing is, the monetization can kind of suck, or the business model for it doesn't fit you. Maybe you can't use the IP because of copyright. So that tends to be, oh man, that's a harder niche to work with, because the monetization, oh, there's a massive market for it. Oh, I'm really passionate about it. Oh, I'm really good at these things. But man, the money sucks. Well, that's why people struggle. And a lot of YouTubers, their biggest problem is only 3 of these things work out. Sometimes it's that, like I said, in gaming or anime, there'll be a big audience for it, but it's all a bunch of people who are young, broke, and don't like to buy things. And you'd be passionate about it, you can be skilled at, you can be top tier player, you can do all those things. But then, oh man, the sponsors are lowballing me. Oh man, I'm getting demonetized or copyright claimed or this or that. So like, that's what makes that niche really hard for people to be full-time in. You have a lot of people playing in that niche, but not a lot of people are succeeding in it for that reason. On the other hand, you have education channels who, okay, they can be very skilled, very knowledgeable what they do. They can be very passionate about, and there's a lot of money to be made there, but the market is smaller, which is why less of them have silver and gold play buttons. A lot of times it's harder to get views. The view floor for education, even what I do, teaching content creators, the view floor for this, no matter how big my subscriber count gets, the view floor for individual topics is like very low. It's actually very low, which is why I had to learn to not get depressed because of views, because I was like, oh, the market for that idea is just not big enough. Almost nobody's getting views on this idea, or the last time someone got views on this idea was a very long time ago. Oh, okay. So there are things that have demand. I found that some of the things that have the best market demand, they grow a lot slower. So they start out with really low views, like my Premiere Pro tutorials. my Premiere Pro tutorials will start out with low views. They'll get like 1,000 views the first day, and it'll be embarrassing for like a whole like 3 months. Like won't even clear like 10,000 views. But then it starts trickling and getting 200 views a day every single day for months and months and months. Then 300 views a day for months and months and months. 500 views a day, and then a year later, that video that was embarrassing and that I had to sit with for like 3 to 6 months, embarrassing me on the channel, after a year, it's 100,000 view video. Because the thing with tutorial content is the market is there for software tutorials, but the thing is it's a slow burn because you can only serve the market on the day that the market has a problem, meaning someone can only watch that video if they're struggling with that problem today. And it may not be that 1,000 people are looking for a solution that day. This is the problem for education channels. Someone's not looking for that solution that day in search. But the thing is, there might be 100 people every day, and then 100 people becomes 200 after a couple of months, and so on and so on and so forth as you climb the ladder. So market, total addressable market decides your capacity for views, your view ceiling, maximum views, your view floor, minimum to average views. Okay, so that's what decides that. Your skill set then determines how well you can serve that market, and that could have a big influence on how well you can monetize as well. But also you need a niche that has more monetization opportunities. So, does this niche have a lot of sponsors? Does this niche have good affiliate revenue? Does this niche have an affluent audience of people with money in their pockets that will buy if they appreciate the content? Is this something that lends itself to a membership or subscription model? Is this something where people will buy merch, or will they buy something else? Merch is not as good or easy to sell in my case, but my book is. Link in the description, I believe. So like my book is easier to sell than my hats, and it's not close. So if people choose between, buy a hat from Roberto or buy a book from Roberto, it's not even close. Thousands of copies of my book sell, hard to move hundreds of units of merch. So big difference, 10x difference on it. 10x difference on merch versus books for education creators a lot of times. So just depends on your market. If you're an entertainer, could go the opposite route. So what are your monetization options? Is there good ad revenue in that niche? Or is it that it relies on sponsorships more? Or does it rely on direct sales more? Does this thing allow for digital products? Or, can I only sell physical products to this audience, et cetera, et cetera. So the monetization options, how many monetization options are there? How much variety in monetization is there? And then also, how long can you sustain this? Can you do this and talk about the same thing for 5 years, 10 years? Is there any place for your passion to pivot so that you don't get bored? Is there a variety within the niche itself that lets you still be consistent, but then also not get bored? These are all things to consider to make sure that you're happy with your channel and that your channel has a long-term capacity for success. And this is also going to help you craft the vision for your career as a full-time content creator. So Ikigai is one of the most important things I think that we teach in Awesome Creator Academy. And I think it's one of the most important things that a creator can learn. And so again, this breakdown is really one of the most important things for creator. And I hope that a lot of you screenshotted this, because I think that it'll help you. So let's see. Home Rapid Repair has a question. Hey, Roberto, if I want to make if I want to make a how-to electric video and the following week how to unclog a drain video, am I really speaking to the same audience? You are, as a utility channel, because your audience is people who have and want and desire to do home improvement, but they have different needs at different times. That video is evergreen. What I would do is I'd make a playlist on your channel. So for Home Rapid Repair, I'd actually, this is the content strategy that I teach people when I coach with them one-on-one, or when we do our group coaching in the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group. We build what are called content pillars. We build content pillars. So for you, because you're doing Home Rapid Repair, this is DIY, I would actually have a playlist on my channel is start here for DIY electrical problems, and I would have a playlist probably where I've made 20 videos with different electrical problems. And then I would say, I have another one that's like, start here with for plumbing problems. Start here for plumbing problems. or, you know, start here to fix your electrical issues. Start here to fix your plumbing problems. And I would like sit there and think about what are the most common problems. Then have another thing. And so like start here to fix your HVAC problems, you know, or your heating and cooling problems. Okay. So I'd say, okay, start here to fix your heating and cooling problems. And then maybe parentheses HVAC. Start here to fix your electrical problems. Start here to fix your plumbing problems. And then I'd have a playlist that's maybe a minimum of 10, 12, 20 videos deep across these issues. And I would start building your content pillars. Typically, we try to build anywhere from 5 to 8 content pillars, but usually it's closer to 6. And then we plan 20 or so videos for each content pillar. And we try to build out 100 video a year strategy. If someone needs to upload 3 times a week, we build out 150 video a year strategy. So from a content strategy consult, what we do is we develop these pillars. So in your case, the pillars that I'd be looking at is, okay, electrical problems, plumbing problems, heating and cooling problems. And then I'd probably, in your case, maybe have, you know, drywall problems. Then I'd probably have maybe roofing and flooring. Then maybe, you know, and then I would just like, and then I would just break it down into these different home repair scenarios so that people who have different things, they can find it, because your channel is a utility resource channel, kind of like mine. You're there when they're ready to solve problems. It's not about subscriber count. We don't get views. If you're doing education, solving problems, you don't get views from subscribers unless or until they have a problem to solve. Your subscriber count when you're an education resource channel is just the number of people that are vouching for you and say, hey, this person fixed my issue. That's how subscriber counts work for education channels. For entertainment channels, there is that more personality driven, loyalty driven component. The thing is, if you don't have a specific problem for me to solve, you're not going to spend your time watching the video. So again, if I fix your electrical problem, you're not watching that unclogged video. It doesn't matter if you subscribed or not. So the thing is, most YouTubers' problem is they get hung up on subscribers. Subscribers and viewers are not necessarily the same thing. If you guys look at your advanced analytics, most of you for your advanced analytics, 50 to 80% of your views come from non-subscribers to your channel. In fact, in the chat, if you're live, go into your advanced analytics on desktop on YouTube and tell me the percentage of your viewers that are subscribers and the percentage of your viewers that are non-subscribers for the last 28 days. Tell me that in the live chat. And also, if you're watching this in the replay, put that data in the comment section. We can use that data. And also maybe tell everyone what niche you're in. Tell everyone what niche you're in and tell them what percentage of your viewers are subscribers and what percentage of your viewers are non-subscribers. You can find that in your advanced YouTube analytics when you go under the audience tab. So, you know, yeah. So for you, it's not that you're not speaking to the same audience. It's that there's a very specific scenario for your channel where people are like, hey, I love you. I'm going to hit subscribe to say you solved my problem at least once. I'm vouching for you. But the thing is, I'm only coming to you when there's a problem that I need solved and when you have the answer, and I'm not watching this other content. For you and me, Home Rapid Repair, someone can only watch our video in the moment that they need to have that problem fixed. Bob James says, are you recording these live streams and then editing videos out of it to upload? No, I'm recording the live streams. I'm having AI make short form for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and you know, other platforms. But I'm just making regular videos. I'm not using these to my regular upload videos. I'm making regular videos for that. AJ Bishop says, question, seems like most firearms YouTubers don't use their face in profile pics. Do you think that each niche has different rules regarding the psychology of profile pics? I think that most profile pics don't matter. I think a lot of you pay too much attention to it. I think that from a branding standpoint, profile pics can be good, but I think that too many of you overthink that aspect, just versus making sure it's just good and clean and that it's visually appealing. How to Credit says, hey, Roberto, I'm a credit finance channel. I'm monetized and I have 3.5K subs. I want to make a Patreon, but I don't know what to put in it. What do you think? Or should I wait until I have more subs? I wouldn't worry about the subs. What I would do is for the Patreon, I would make some kind of For you, because you're a how to credit channel and a finance channel, I would make some quick, very nice hacks videos. I'd make exclusive to Patreon, and I'd have a library of those videos. And I would say that, hey, we put out a new exclusive video every week. And then I would put that out. And then when you're a certain size, I would promote the library, even if you're not posting to it every week. Once the library is big enough, hey, we have 50 exclusive videos. Hey, we have 100 exclusive videos, and we upload new content each and every month. So make sure you're checking out the exclusives. It's stuff you can only get here. And then on that side, you'd have these exclusive videos, maybe even have a couple of nice spreadsheets or downloads or PDFs or something like that. And so then you just have this vault that people can join to get access to these things. So that's how I would do your Patreon. Let's see, I'm looking at your questions. My real name is made up, says, oh, thanks, man. This is Sean. If you found value in Roberto's teaching, please help out and hit the like button. Yeah, please and thank you. Hit the like button. Appreciate y'all. Creighton TV says, hey, Roberto, in the education niche, and non-subs is 97% and subscribe is 3%. All views come from non-subscribers, but my unique audience over the last 28 days is 35,000 plus. Well, congratulations. That's some dope data. Appreciate you for the data. Cool Breeze says, is making React content a good way to grow and get views? If it's actually good, it is. If it's actually good, it is. And if it's actually relevant, and if you are making it in an interesting way, I mean, reaction channels kind of can be a little bit of a, what do they call it? A dime a dozen. So the thing is, for a lot of you, your biggest issue is you don't actually have a process for your ideas. So we actually have an ideation framework that we teach. We also have some of this stuff in our creator blueprints. We have our creator blueprints for $9. And one of the things that we talk about is how important it is to identify your target audience. That's part of why I teach the Ikigai framework. Then you have to research and find inspiration. A lot of you don't do enough time researching your ideas. You don't brainstorm. You don't come up with something that represents high effort content a lot of the time. And so that makes it very hard for you to have ideas that scale. Now, again, even with my niche, like, that's not always something you can do or that works. The best person in terms of interesting ideas in my niche, the two people that I think have those interesting ideas in my niche are probably Ed from Film Booth and Nate Black. So my friends Ed and Nate, Nate Black, formerly of Channel Makers, and Ed of Film Booth, probably are the best in the YouTube education niche at ideation, because they come up with ideas and case studies that are very attractive for views. Now, that content won't always resonate with everyone. It'll get views, but then those views may not convert to subscribers. It depends. Ed is great at storytelling, filmmaking, cinematography. But the thing is, sometimes that also can make people feel like it's inaccessible for them to duplicate those things, because it's like, okay, I'm watching a movie. Can I actually do this? So Nate's stuff is much more down to earth, but both of them are great. And I love their content. Nate's stuff is really down to earth, and he makes it really simple and easy to understand, but his stuff isn't always as polished as Ed's. So the thing is, there are different approaches and everything. They both get great views on their channel, though. They get great views on their channels. I would say that Ed obviously grows subscribers at a higher rate. I would say that Nate's views tend to be more consistent, even though there's less of them sometimes. But also in terms of the engagement and comments around actually understanding the material, Nate will get a lot of comments around understanding the material. Ed will get a lot of comments around the beauty and cinematography and how interesting the story that he tells was. So the thing is, you have to consider what's the response and what's the feedback that you want to get from the audience, and then how is that going to inform your ideas and your approach in the future, and then what are you going to prioritize? And so is it going to be the visuals, the production, the aesthetic, the storytelling? Is it going to be cinematic? Or is this going to be a detailed and elaborate case study that took you a month to put together because you were collecting data? So data-driven case studies, Nate is probably one of the best in the business. Visual storytelling, in our industry, in my niche, it's probably Ed. So the thing is, you can have different approaches and come to different things. So like Ed might do more research around a look or an aesthetic or a film that he wants to borrow from or a special effect that he wants to do. And then meanwhile, Nate, his research process might be hunting for a very unique piece of data or information that he wants to do, and then do a 30-day or 100-day challenge, or audit 100 channels, or audit 500 thumbnails and then present the information. So you have to consider what your ideation process is going to look like to determine how many views you're going to get. How are you going to make something different than the other reaction channels? What about your reaction channels is going to be unique and have people coming back for? What's your cinematography going to be for reaction channel? Is it going to be this budget low grade reaction channel, or is it going to be that you do reaction channel but you also do green screen and you take it to the level of a Dr. Disrespect? Are you going to react, but are you going to dress up in a costume and react in character? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to cosplay the thing that you? So like, what would you? So here's the thing: if I was 20 and I was doing a reaction channel, I might do a reaction channel, and then I would either do it probably as a caricature and dress up in costume, kind of like how Dr. Disrespect does, and play a character, or I'd do a reaction channel, and then I would maybe do a whole elaborate thing for it with reactions and reviews, like either Nostalgia Critic or something like that, and make a whole production out of it where there's a whole spiel and a whole gimmick to the thing, because then it's the unique content and you only can get it from me, and you can't just watch somebody else's thing. And then even if I'm late to reacting to something, you're waiting for mine because of the memes and the bits and the costumes and the way that I approach it if I did it. So the thing is, I would do a reaction channel, but then I'd be mixing it with a unique comedy show and visual gags and gimmicks that make you want to come back and make you also want to binge watch my thing, even if you've never heard of the thing I'm reacting to. So then that's how I would do it if it was me. Like if I was in my 20s and I had the energy like that and I was passionate about it, I would be doing that. If I was doing a review channel, I'd probably be doing like Star Wars or something, and I'd probably cosplay in different Star Wars costumes and be elaborate about it every time. And then people would get really excited and be really interested in that. Then they'd probably follow me for the cosplay stuff on Instagram and then want to interact with me there or what have you. They'd care about my opinions on Twitter and so on and so forth. So like I would make my stuff so unique so that I could be a destination channel, so that people are like, yeah, even if he's not the first person to put out the video, I'm waiting for his video. That's how I'd be doing it. I would be approaching it to make people want to wait for my video, prioritize my video, and watch my video no matter what, and watch my video no matter what it's about, because that's how I'm going to transfer their curiosity and interest in the IP, the idea, the video, the franchise, whatever it is. I'm going to transfer that interest to caring about me. But the thing is, you have to have a powerful personality, persona, or a gimmick coming right out the gate for that. So if I'm doing reaction content, that would be my approach and my strategy to reaction content. Was I'd make it so you have to watch me react to things because nobody else can do it the way that I'm doing it, and you can tell that no one else can do it the way I'm doing it because there's like a visual gag built in, is how I'd probably be doing it. So Bayou City Report says, hey, Roberto, subscribed viewers is 40%, unsubscribed viewers is about 60%, and I do local street news and mini documentaries. Thank you, Bayou City Report. Yeah, that's crazy that, again, it's like 60-40 for him. So like I said, it's over 50% most of the time. So channel member Luminous Czar, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says, question, Roberto. I noticed my views went down during the long videos after doing shorts videos. Does the algorithm respond differently to each? Thanks. Yes, the algorithm for each of these is radically different in terms of shorts and long form and live streams. So let's see here. We go to the content tab in analytics. And then the best thing to do is to get this data for 90 days. So the thing is, the content tab in analytics can break down every single format, but you can also see the comparison of all formats at once. And the thing is, they all react very differently. They all have very different engagement signals. I'll tell you what my thoughts are on the engagement signals for each different type of format. So if you're doing YouTube shorts, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is not to actually try to push people to long form videos from YouTube shorts. I think if you do YouTube shorts, you should use the related videos link, and you should probably just try to get people to binge watch more YouTube shorts, because the highest engagement signal on YouTube short is watching the YouTube short all the way to end, probably even looping the YouTube short, commenting on it, and then the next thing is watching another YouTube short in a row. So I have all the interactions. These are probably the highest weighted interactions in the algorithm that says, hey, this person enjoyed this person's content. Let's make sure that we send more traffic their way. So let's go ahead and do that. With a regular YouTube video, it's probably going to be not abandoning the video in the first 30 seconds of the video, followed by most likely watching the video all the way to the end, engaging in the video with a comment. Probably also, if you'd used a super thanks on the video, that'd be a high engagement signal. And then obviously going from that video and watching another video from the same creator right after that, probably the highest engagement signal for viewers or enjoyment that you can give to a creator. So like, in no particular order, those are kind of the high engagement signals for videos versus shorts. For live streams, I would say for live streams, it is the longer you stay on a stream, obviously. I would say engaging with this with the stream, like the more frequently you chat, the more it shows that you are enjoying the stream in addition to just watching it and not just being passive. I would say that YouTube would probably share the content to you more if you're a super chatter, because it would say, hey, if someone's paying and enjoying this content, they like this creator, I'll show them more of a creator that generates YouTube money with super chats. So the thing is, the more people super chat, the more YouTube probably shows your content to them. Because think about it. If you super chat, you like that video more than you like other videos. So YouTube would probably show you more from that creator if you super chat. And if you chat in general, they probably show you more from that creator. And then obviously, if you spend over 45 minutes or an hour on a live stream, YouTube probably shows you more content for that creator, because it's like, hey, this creator kept someone on YouTube for an hour. Most videos only keep people here for 3 minutes. Show them more from this creator. If this creator has videos, show them more videos, show them more replays, show them more live streams. And you know how I can prove this and say, okay, Roberto, you're just talking out of your butt. You know how I can prove this? I can prove this because from my live streams, suggested videos, which is the YouTube algorithm, suggested videos is 73% of all the traffic, all this traffic, all these views. 73% of it is from suggested videos. So that's for live streams. That's for live streams. Suggested videos, 73%. Homepage browse features is the other 14%. So that's 87% of all of the traffic for live streams being generated purely by the YouTube algorithm, even with a 1% click-through rate. But the average view duration of my live streams is 42 minutes, almost an hour long. So that's how I'm able to get to that conclusion of what I just said about the engagement signals and the engagement boosting for the YouTube algorithm when it comes to that. For regular videos, I would argue that the ratio of finishing or completing videos and then responding to other videos and watching more frequent videos and upload frequency have a lot more to do with it for those type of videos. In my case, though, search is my best feature when I upload enough. And the way I used to grow my channel back in the olden days was I was making nothing but search friendly videos, and I was uploading almost every day. So then I was abusing this traffic source. And the thing is, it does work. It does work. But the thing is, I'm not uploading frequently enough right now. If you look at this, in the last 90 days, I've uploaded 3 YouTube videos in the last 90 days. Now, I want you to imagine if I was uploading 3 videos a week over the last 90 days, though. So what would that look like? 3 videos a week over the last 90 days would be 12 videos a month, which would be 36 videos. So that would literally be, if I upload 3 here, 36. So yeah, that'd be like 12 times more, which means you could 12x the number of views here. And that would be kind of correlate to that. So that would be a significant difference in views if I was uploading with that level of frequency. So the thing is, that would help me because then more of that content could be suggested to a larger group of overall people. I don't currently upload shorts. I do have a shorts plan to upload. I have 3 shorts on the channel. I plan to actually do a 100 shorts sprint at some point this year. I'm recording videos for that. But what I will tell you from a discovery mechanism with regard to shorts, the traffic sources on shorts vary because YouTube is putting shorts in more places. Usually you'd want it from the shorts feed, ideally. I haven't made enough videos to kind of penetrate that, but you'd be surprised how much browse features in the homepage has to do with it. The thing that you want to do as far as an engagement signal is people not swiping away. And the thing is, this number to be ideal for shorts actually needs to be 80 to 85% viewed versus swipe away. So you want the swipe away to be under 20%, ideally under 15% or under 10% would be ideal. I learned that from Jenny Hoyos in her interview about making viral videos with my friend Jay Klaus, which is interestingly enough his most viral video, his most viewed video. So that interview has a lot of great insights to it. But yeah, I uploaded these shorts a long time ago. I only have 3 of them. I'm getting views from them without even trying, but most of that's coming from browse features, which when it says browse features means the YouTube homepage pretty much. So it's the YouTube homepage feed, and that's what that looks like. So again, you want this number to be 80% viewed or more, and you want less than 20% swipe away when it comes to your shorts. And ideally, if you can create looping sessions for your shorts, that's what you'd want to do. And so, yeah, that would be ideal. So that just gives you some insights into the general algorithm for each type of format, whether it's YouTube Shorts, YouTube live streams, or regular videos. Skilled Martian says, hey, Roberto, I'm a Call of Duty live streamer on YouTube. Around 2021, my live streams would work wonders with SEO. Now that same strategy doesn't work. Not one random person will come in 2 weeks. Call of Duty. The format isn't great for Call of Duty for doing vertical live streams, but vertical live streams are exploding right now. Just as an experiment, I want you to try experimenting with the vertical live stream format for Call of Duty just to see what would happen. It's not ideal because I know the game is widescreen. I used to be a Call of Duty Black Ops 2 player. So I just want you to experiment with it just to see if it kind of breaks your live streams out of limbo and just see what happens if it influxes, gives it a little boost. Arf World says, this guy is full of gems, never ceases to amaze me. Thanks, I appreciate that. In My Travels says, hey, Roberto, I'm just now reviving my channel. I see most of my traffic comes from shorts instead of my long forms. Should I focus on my shorts to grow my channel? I would prioritize a strategy for each of your formats, to be honest. I would prioritize a strategy for each of your formats. If you're doing travel, I would even consider some IRL streams, but in the vertical format, because that shows up in the vertical feed, sometimes called the shorts feed. So I would do some IRL streaming vertical. I would still make regular videos. maybe try to see if they can tie into search or to trends, but be evergreen. And then I would do shorts as well. Just because shorts is getting you more views, more attention, doesn't mean that you should ultimately say, oh, I guess I'm a shorts channel now. Because the thing is, it doesn't do well in revenue. So the thing is, you want a balanced approach and you want to try to use the formats to the best of your ability. How to Create says, hey, Roberto, do you think I should go after keyword search and try to rank on topics that no other credit finance channel is doing? Sometimes hard to do, and I use vidIQ, or do I just do trilogy videos I already have? Not only trilogies, but trilogies and sequels, and a series, even a long form series, like a series of 12 videos. Now, they don't have to be sequential, meaning that, oh, you have to watch these videos in this order or whatever. So I would look at things like that. Keywords, my approach to keywords is not the same as other people, because I don't consider tags to be keywords. I consider keywords to be keywords, very different. So what I'm focusing on is the thing that people have attention, or the thing that people are talking about, or the things they're searching for. I use those as keywords and keyword phrases. And so, for example, in credit repair, there's a lot of things you could target. Like, for example, perfect credit score. And then you could talk about that from different perspectives, but not just different perspectives. Sometimes it's also making different lengths of videos. Sometimes you want to make the video that not only can rank, but rank and be the shortest version of solving that problem. Then you want another video that is several tips that people will want, or hacks or secrets, because people love collecting hacks and secrets. So maybe that's a listicle style video. And then maybe you want an in-depth video that's practically a free course, and it's super long, and it's like 40, 50 minutes on that subject, because some people want depth and they can't get enough. Now you've attacked that problem multiple different ways. And so the thing is, you could consider an approach like that. Sean Park says, hey, Roberto, your views and numbers are so massive compared to a small channel like myself with such big numbers all the time. What keeps you excited when you look at your analytics? Honestly, I'm not excited looking at my analytics anymore. That went away a long time ago, especially during when I got depressed during the pandemic. None of that gets me excited anymore. The thing that gets me excited is, one, I actually enjoy talking about this stuff. So I get excited about that. I get excited about the live streams. I get excited about the questions. I get excited about interacting with my community. I get excited about seeing sponsor checks come in, to be honest with you. I get excited playing with the camera gear and going, oh, I'm going to tweak this. Oh, I'm going to change lighting. Oh, I'm going to change the set design. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, they're going to love this when they do it. I really get excited now about doing these, the graphics for the slides, believe it or not. I get excited about that. So for me, I actually just get excited about the process more than anything. At this point, that's just kind of where I'm at. But I've always been the kind of person who also enjoys the process. Fazu, Battlecaster, $20 super chat. Thank you. Right, I just met with my artist and we were doing information from your streams for thumbnails to also make new banners. Nice. Congratulations. If you're wondering what Fazu is talking about, we did a workshop Wednesday, which was the last stream we did was on Wednesday, because what we do is we do monetization Mondays, where we teach you about how to make money online, how to become a full-time content creator making 10K a month. And then we do workshop Wednesdays where we do practical skills. This week's workshop Wednesday was about thumbnail theory and thumbnail design. And then today we do FAQ Fridays where we talk about strategy, ideation, and analytics. And we answer as many of your questions as we can. So that's how we do FAQ Fridays. So, yep. Glad to know that's working out for your channel banner. Bayou City Report says, hey, Roberto, can you share your tips for titles and tags? I've always had a hard time developing a title that's not scabby or bait. My channel is meant to be news from local perspective, not street gossip. Thank you. Okay, Bayou City Report. I actually did a really good breakdown on titles, and I actually showed you how to do advanced titles with help from ChatGPT. I did a free workshop on that. So if you go to the live streams tab on my YouTube channel, if you want some of the best content on YouTube, what all of you should do is on my YouTube channel, go to the live tab. And in the live tab, one, you're going to see the content I have scheduled for the month of April right now, but you're also going to see all of these videos that I've done extensively with different topics where I've gone in for like an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours And it's really dope because you guys are getting detailed information whenever I do that on, you know, what like works and how, and sometimes showing you in real time exactly how to do it. So just to give you an example here, if you go onto my YouTube channel and then you click on the live tab, first of all, you're going to see, excuse me, first of all, one of the things you're going to see when you get to the live tab is, hang on, you're going to see the schedule for the month of April. I am traveling the 13th through 17th, so we'll see if we come back from break on that, or if I can schedule a video in between, because we'll just see what my schedule is, because I'll be in Las Vegas speaking at NAB show. But what you'll find is I've done a bunch of different things that can massively help you in the live show. We do these for 2 to 4 hours. And so a lot of these actually have really great views. For example, the strategy session we did for becoming a full-time YouTuber in 2024, we did that 2 months ago, 20,000 views. We did, a complete guide to making money as a small YouTube channel, 11,000 views on that. We did how to start free training, 36,000 views. Finding your niche, that one was a 4-hour session. And we talked about being the algorithm as a small YouTuber. 4 hours, 48,000 views on that stream. Again, sometimes it takes a while for these things to build up. My channel, the views slow out the gate. They build up over time. But our title workshop, our free title workshop with ChatGPT, 67,000 views and still climbing. And I still get comments on it today. So we have a lot of great training for you. These things might as well be courses, and you get to watch them for free. So you get to watch a course basically in terms of content, and you get it for free with these massive live streams. We even covered brand deals. We did a full training on finding sponsors and talking about management and how they work with creators sometimes. We cover analytics quite a bit. And so you can see the analytics streams do very well. We even did a massive workshop last year around making and selling merchandise. That did almost 700,000 views. We did another one on crafting the perfect title, 20,000 views. So just letting you know, there's a lot of great information here in the live tab of the channel, and that's why I do these live streams, and I've been leaning into live streams more, and that's why we have a 3 stream a week schedule now. That's something new that we started. So if you want deep information and you want to know exactly how to do something, we do that. We do a lot of screen sharing, so make sure you check that out, and that will help you with title crafting. Tribe says, I love how Roberto is honest about consistency. Casey has also confirmed this. If you can post more of the same quality, it helps your channel. That's a fact. Yeah, Casey has talked about this before. It's a real thing. Taking breaks is important, but there will be consequences for that when it comes to your channel. And I don't blame the algorithm for that. That's just a function of how everything works. Is if you take a break, coming back is harder. Bob James says, Roberto, love to hear that you're using transcripts from the live and then using that with AI to repurpose to text-based platforms. Really been super helpful. Thank you. Great work. Yeah. And I'll be sharing the workflow for that in one of the workshops. We'll have a repurposing workshop, and you'll get to see how I use OpusClip for repurposing. You get to see how I use ChatGPT for repurposing. You'll get to see how I leave Streamyard for that. So yeah. Ray's Blissful Connection says, I agree with you, Tribe. Roberto is certainly transparent about the YouTube space. Grateful for his insight. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. You guys are sweet. Red Talk Anna says, if you don't have a lot of subscribers, should you still go live? I would test that right now, honestly, with the vertical live streaming feature on YouTube that shows up in the shorts feed. and lets you live stream to that vertical feed. Because right now, one of my coaching clients that's a gaming channel that plays Clash Royale, it's a mobile game and it has a vertical format, is getting 100,000 views per stream and is at 40,000 subscribers and getting 100,000 views per stream every time he streams, like every other day. Because of that new vertical live streaming feature, YouTube is pushing it aggressively. So the thing is, even if you have a young channel, like it's a couple of weeks old, I think it's worth a shot if your videos can fit that format. If your videos can fit that format, I would try the vertical live streaming. One Blended Bunch says, hey, Roberto, when you decide that your current channel doesn't fit you anymore, small channel, do you pivot using your same channel or start a new one? With me, the way I would do it in that case is I'd probably private the old videos, move to a new niche. And when I upload, I'd uncheck the box that notifies subscribers. And then I'd basically start as if I had 0. AJ Bishop says green screen is way underused. Yeah, I'm trying to maybe get to a point to where I can use it once a month. It is so much editing, extra work to do it, but I do enjoy it from time to time. But yeah. In my travel says, Roberto, do you have a course regarding how you answered my question about IRL shorts, creating a strategy from each form, long form and short form? No, not yet. We don't have a course like that or anything yet. We do have the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group where we do 2 live office hours a week, which means you'd have 2 days a week that if you join the office hour sessions, you could ask me about directly, as well as the other creators in the group. And maybe we'd be able to help you with some feedback, and maybe that would help in the meantime in terms of direct answers, or maybe if you did one-on-one coaching with me. But I don't have a course that fits this right now. We're still working on some course stuff and course content, so stay tuned for any kind of announcement on that, but we don't have anything like that yet. Not yet, but we're working on it. Regina Mitchell says, thank you for all your hard work. I had a video that got a lot of views. Should I do more videos like this in the same format? Yes, I would actually, if something's working, you do more of it and you try to figure out how to make it a recurring theme in your videos. Mr. Beast is like really great with this. He like figured out, okay, I'll do something. We'll do it. We'll survive it for 24 hours. Okay, boys, we survived that for 24 hours. Can we do it for 50 hours? Without dying? Can we double it up? Can we double the stakes without dying? Okay, we did that. Hey, time to wrap up the trilogy, boys. We got to survive this thing for a week without dying. Let's hope it works out. So like he'll do a trilogy, right? So if something's working, I say at least try to give it a trilogy. If something's working and the trilogy works out, then just keep on going and finding new variations and finding ways to change the way you approach it, or to increase the stakes or the level of difficulty or some new other approach to it. But absolutely, I would keep repeating what's working and find ways to approach it. Zolo Q says, hey, Roberto, sorry if this is a silly question, but do you do channel audits on stream? I have done some micro channel reviews on stream in the past. So we've done that before, but we're not doing that tonight. I don't have the energy. I've been doing a lot of stuff today, so I don't have the energy. I only have enough energy to do basically the FAQ stuff right now. So yeah. IBMK Manning King says, hey, Roberto, what are your camera settings, bro? Well, for camera 2 right now, which is the Sony ZV-E10, I have it at 1/125 for the shutter speed and f2.8 and ISO 600. And that's what gives me the current look for that. For camera 1, which is the Sony a6600, I believe that the camera settings are also 1/125, but with a f 1.8 to give me more of the blurry background. And it looks like we're shooting at ISO 400, I think. So yeah, So that's the camera settings. And I believe that for the lighting, we're using 5,000 Kelvin for the lighting. So those are the current camera settings that I'm using for both the two cameras. For the switcher, we're using an ATEM Mini for the switcher for the multiple camera angles. We have that. I have another view angle for another screen. I have another monitor here, but we're not using it right now. But it's one where I could use it for additional PDF slides. So yeah, that's the beauty of an ATEM Mini switcher. And of course, we have our Rodecaster Pro for our sound effects. Yeah, I'm using a Sony a6600. The difference is probably my camera lenses. For camera 1, I'm using the G Master 35mm. For camera 2, I'm using a 20mm f2.8 lens. So I would say the camera lenses probably have a significant role to play in how clean my stuff is. That and the overall set design and aesthetic. So I have, RGB aperture light bulb in the background. On the side here, I've got an RGB tube light that's about $300. So it's doing some side / backlighting. I have 2 other RGB tube lights behind me here, and then I have RGB strips behind me. So we got a lot of things going on in the background that are contributing to the overall effect here. And this is all, of course, mounted on Elgato mounts. So that gives you just a better sense of the aesthetic because I adjusted the angle a little bit. That's also going to deal with some of like the head height stuff a little bit. So yeah, so overall, that's what it is. Probably eventually just want to get a freaking use my pillow for this chair. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. This is going to be a lot more comfortable, and it's going to help with some head height in frame. So yeah. Oh, that's so much more comfortable. My back is going to thank me for this. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. Why didn't I do that sooner? Yep, no problem. Red Talk Anna says, this channel has helped me a lot. You need a video editor. Yeah, for a lot of people, outsourcing to a video editor is one of the best things they can do. I'm working with my brother for him to take my video editing. That's actually what's holding me back in my uploads is the editing becomes a bottleneck. I also wanted to work on my downstairs library in the basement. So I have an art studio and I have a library in the basement. I'm doing some remodeling and finishing down there. But the library is going to help me with this relaxing and working and editing and just grinding and doing it in peace. The art studio is more for filming. I thought it could be for filming and editing, and it's too distracting with all the cameras and all the lights and stuff like that. I realized that I needed a quiet space. And the thing is, in my down here is much more streaming and filming oriented as well. It's not really as suited to editing as I thought it would be. Doing admin work here is okay. Doing live streaming here is okay. Doing my coaching calls here is okay. Doing the pro group here is okay. Doing my meetings down here with this battle station is okay. And filming the bookshelf videos, yeah, I can do that. And doing my whiteboard and my whiteboard sessions, but doing like a lot of work or doing editing, there's just something so distracting about all this, especially the ultra widescreen is really as great as it is for the Adobe Premiere timeline. There's just something about it. So what I found was, and then my bedroom, I just end up relaxing. I end up struggling with, getting into a flow state because I just end up too relaxed. So now that me and my brother have built the library downstairs in the basement, I find that, oh my God, this is the most productive work environment. I can get into my zone of genius. I feel energized. I feel motivated. So you'd be surprised how much your environment can hinder your productivity or editing, or that some environments are better for other tasks. So I found that, okay, I have to create a space for anything I want to do. If I want to rest and relax and unwind, like I set up my bedroom and I set up my theater room to be perfect for those. and I cannot work in either of those rooms. Apparently, I can only really relax in those rooms, which means I kind of did it right to create work-life balance. But then in this office, I can work, but apparently there's some tasks that are easier to do here and others that I struggle with more or less. So like, oh, there's that same thing for the art studio. And so I realized, okay, what's going on here? What environment that I need that makes it easier for me to just edit and grind out work? And so I created that environment and it's great. So now doing research down there, doing editing down there, doing admin down there is much, much easier. There's no screens besides the laptop. So there's no distractions. There's like music and there's books and there's a clear, clean workspace. And it's just wonderful. So, that's something that I keep thinking about is adjust your environment and it will help you a lot with whatever your workflow is. Cool Breeze says, Roberto, is it a good idea to then check the notify subscribers button when uploading a short if I'm trying to grow a long form audience? Probably, but the views initially will be lower. ZoloQ says, hey, Roberto, I'm a VTuber. What are some things I can do as far as merch that might have an edge over regular YouTubers? Would phone wallpapers as digital product be a good idea? Phone wallpapers could. If your audience is really adamant about supporting you, that could be a cheap, affordable way to do it. Sticker packs can be good as well. Sticker packs can be good. A lot of the audience that would watch a VTuber does care about stickers and customization and tweaking their own stuff. So that's actually pretty cool. Another thing you might consider is how you can do merch that leans into memes and meme culture. So not necessarily your character, not necessarily logo, not any IP, but just like something that would be iconic and maybe ironic and funny, and how you can do that. Anna, Red Talk Anna says, how long is too long of a break? A week is too long. Anything longer than a week, but I would avoid missing a week if possible. I'll be honest with you about that. Sean Park says, Roberto, how many people attend the office hours in Awesome Career Academy? Is it a Zoom meeting or a live stream? Is it easy to ask questions and advice during the sessions? Okay, so this is a great question. So what it is we do it in the private Facebook group via Streamyard. So we're using Streamyard right now, so no one has to download anything. So that's the good news. Number two, it can vary. There could be as many as 10 or 20 people in the chat, but we get anywhere on average from 6 to 8 people who decide to get on video on screen, and sometimes they alternate or swap out and so on and so forth. But it actually is easy to ask questions. And also we allow people to post questions to the Facebook group each and every day, and then we answer them. Multiple people in the group answer and engage with the questions. Me and Andy Rivera engage and answer the questions as well. And then we also address the questions during the office hours session while we're waiting for people to show up. So that's typically how it is. We have a ton of Awesome Creator Academy members, but not everyone does Tuesdays. Some people do Thursdays. So people show up to the session that fits their life and their schedule, and they show up where they want. So they know that there's usually 8 sessions in a month. So they know that, okay, they're going to get their answers addressed. They're going to get some FaceTime when they want it. So that's how it works out. So again, Sean, anybody else, we'd love to have you over in Awesome Creator Academy. I'm going to drop you a link for the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group for anyone who's interested, and you can check it out and see if it's for you. We have a couple of members in the chat who can probably vouch for what their experience is. So check out the Pro group. I'm just going to drop this in the chat. There you guys go. So I've dropped a link for all of you to check out the Pro group. The other thing is you get access to all of our digital products for as long as you're a paying member. So you get access to all the micro courses, all the template bundles, all the swipe files, all the chat GPT prompts, all of the creator blueprints, workflows, and PDFs. You'll get all of those as long as you're a member, paying every month, or if you pay for the year. So great question. Thank you. At some point, I'll do a stream where maybe I'll walk you guys through more of Awesome Creator Academy and just show you a little behind the scenes of that. Chloe Forbes has a great question. Chloe Forbes Kindlin says, where do you recommend finding video editors? So me, I'm kind of particular. I like to work with people in person. So that can be rough for people. If you're trying to find people in person, look at your local universities, or if there's anyone you know locally that has a skill set. I thankfully, everyone in my family is artistic and creative, and my siblings live with me as housemates. So my younger brother is working with me now, and I'm teaching him video editing. Eventually, by the summer, he's going to probably be up to where I need him to be, and he'll be doing editing for me. So me, I like training people in person. I like being hands-on. I like, to some degree, looking over people's shoulders. Editing is one of the things I will micromanage. Other things I would not micromanage, but editing is, until someone can anticipate me, or until I feel like we've built our system so well that I don't have to worry about them, because our system and workflow, hardware, software, plugins, everything's immaculate. So, if you're going a completely different route than that, then you could look at Fiverr, you can look at Upwork, you can look at YT Jobs, you could post in Twitter and ask for editing referrals. You can, in Discord, talk to other YouTubers to recommend editors to you. Go to ytjobs.co. My friend Patty Galloway owns that. And you can also, like I said, Upwork and Fiverr. What else can you do? University System. Yeah, those are the main places you can find editors at this point. Oh yeah, and onlinejobs.ph. If you're a working class YouTuber, but editing is really painful for you and you can't afford much, you can change someone's life overseas. So you can check out onlinejobs.ph and hire freelancers from overseas. A lot of people get sketched out by that. A lot of people think that, oh God, we are exploiting people overseas. No, you're changing their lives. Like, Americans aren't the only ones who need to make a living. And sometimes someone who is a working class person, when they want help with their projects, a working class person in America, what their little budget can afford can be life-changing to someone overseas. So I'm perfectly okay with people offshoring and outsourcing overseas, because other people's lives deserve to be improved too. And the thing is, it's a match made in heaven. If the money that's in your meager budget wouldn't do anything for a creator here, it can change somebody's life overseas. So since, people are people, that's probably like a match made in heaven. And I think it's perfectly okay. I don't like people who are like, getting on moral high horse around it. I think that, it's not the responsibility of those people that live over there to worry about meeting the market rates over here. So, I mean, that's just how I feel about it. I felt the same way when it came to freelancing, eventually I came to that conclusion, especially since the internet made the world smaller. We get to talk to more people in different countries, different experiences from life. There are creators here that might have overseas workers. There's also creators overseas that have lower CPMs than us here in America. So they need to supplement their income. And sometimes they work for an American creator to do that. So it's another way the community ends up helping each other. So that's something you could look at. And it just depends on what your budget is. Let's see. Javan H says, question, Roberto, is it better to just finish a video idea despite execution or quality, or finish a project for the quality? It depends. If you're treating it like art, you'll favor quality. If you're treating it like a career, you'll hold yourself accountable, and done will be better than perfect. And sometimes you got to stick to a schedule. If you were working at a job, they would make you get the thing out imperfect rather than deliver it late. So you have to decide, is this a career or is this your art and hobby? Because if it's art, you can favor quality. If you have a career, if you want a career, you favor consistency. So consistency is the argument for finishing something and getting it out when it's due and delivering the work, imperfect or not. art is the argument for quality. A lot of YouTubers fancy themselves artists, but they suffer because of it. As Scene 85, I hope you're enjoying the book. For those of you who don't know, I do have a book, Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. It's available in Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, and everywhere books are sold. If you want to buy my book, I'm going to link to it here in the chat. And you can check that out in Amazon with my affiliate link. And yeah, I think that this book could help you if you're a beginning content creator, a small creator, even if you're an established creator. I think this book has a lot to offer. I worked really hard on it, and so hopefully you guys enjoy it. It does really good ratings in Amazon, so apparently I did something right. Trent Wild says, hey, Roberto, hope all is well. Can you explain how to start UGC and get brand deals with no subscribers, followers completely from scratch? I'm looking to eventually quit my 9-to-5 job. Well, first of all, I don't think you can really do it with no followers, no subscribers completely from scratch. I think you need to start building a reputation. So a lot of people, they want something without having built the reputation. And this is a no offense, and I'm not shading you or anything. I just think that it's asking a lot, because if you have no subscribers, no followers yet, and you're like, I want to do this thing and I want to quit my 9-to-5 job, you're asking a lot of trust from people, and you have nothing to back up that trust. So everything we do is built on authenticity and authority, aka a reputation, building a personal brand. So what I would tell you is that you have to develop your personal brand. Now, to hire you for UGC content, a brand needs to see you producing something that is aesthetically better than what they're producing, or aesthetically equal to what they're producing. So if you have no body of work, no portfolio, no content, and you can't prove that you know the audience as well as them, and you can get some level of engagement, you don't have to be huge. It's just showing that you do know the market, you deliver for the market responds favorably. There's nothing to go off of to trust you. So your answer here is to start building something. You need to start building something, and you need to start getting a positive, favorable response. You have to prove yourself to the market, my friend. So if you want to become a UGC creator and work with brands, you need to prove yourself, and you need to build a body of work that says, here's what I produce. It's aligned to you, the brand, and you need to figure out, well, what brands do I want? Because these are clients. Then you need to sit there and make sure your work reflects that, the quality is there, and then go, okay, there's a reason to hire this person, and you need to show that your work elicits a positive response. Red Talkana, I think I answered this. I said, when you asked how long is too long of a break, anything longer than a week. Sean Park said, are you excited about your NAB talk, and will you post a replay of it online? If they film it and let me post, I will find somewhere to post it. Maybe it'll be members only. Maybe I'll post it to my Clips channel or something. So we'll see. I'm excited about going to NAB and meeting people. So I think that's going to be dope. I've never been to NAB, so it'll be an experience. Alex Hernandez says, can you help a channel even if they're in another language, say Spanish in my case? It depends. It really depends. It's a channel by channel basis with that. I have done that in the past. It's not ideal. I can read and speak some Spanish, and I do understand other things about the channels. Ideally, though, being a native speaker for your thing, it depends on what your problem is specifically. But it's a channel by channel basis for that. But I also have tools that do translate everything. So there is that too. Black Entertainment with Miss JBJ, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Hey, Roberto, love your content. Small YouTuber. I'm guilty of uploading shorts to get more views. Recently stopped posting as much. It's been at least 6 months. How can I get more attention on my long form videos? What I would tell you is I wouldn't stop posting the shorts. I would just tell you that they're different audiences. A shorts audience is a different audience than a long form audience. And the thing is, the problem is too many creators want their shorts audience to watch their long form videos. I don't believe in that. I believe in just making the shorts people watch shorts and giving them more shorts linked to each other to watch, and then letting them decide if they want to go into long form content. I would not force them. I will not try to convince them. I will not try to do that, because all I'm going to do is get people who end up clicking off of my videos and hurting my long form videos. So I would make a shorts audience a shorts audience. You can have them on the same channel, but I would only try to get shorts people to watch shorts videos, and long form people, I don't want them watching shorts. I don't care. I only want them watching long form or live stream videos, and vice versa. So the thing is, they're just separate audiences, and they do not need to overlap. They're separate audiences. You do not need them to mix and mingle. Creators just have to get past that emotional desire for everyone to watch all of their video content and realize, okay, it's probably not going to happen. So let me just be happy with people watching something from me. So let people watch what they want to watch from you. Just make sure there is enough of it for them to watch. Linda's DIY by Design says, hey, Roberto, question. Do you know of any recent YouTube channel subscriber cleanups? I've always been consistent and seen subscribers increase, yet lately, with no change in my channel format, I'm seeing negative sub counts the last 28 days. That happens regularly. They do purges for bots and such all the time, inactive accounts. So that just happens ongoing all the time, every couple of weeks. Michael W. Cook says, hey, how's your second book coming? Do you plan to post videos based on your book's content? Eventually. I still need to make some videos based on the current book's content. I decided to not try to rush releasing the second book before Vid Summit this year, because I want more time to market it. And I also want to do the audio edition of the current book. So I'm going to push my second book to next year, but I'm also, ironically, also writing the third book at the same time. And I'm writing on the side kind of a short not throwaway, but like one-off book on the side. And I'm also writing some chapters for somebody else's book that I'm going to be included in that comes out later this year. So there's a lot of writing going on, and it's also been taking me away from editing videos for YouTube. I am really enjoying the writing, though, and I love being a published author. So yeah, thanks. And shout out to you, Michael. Appreciate you. Roberto, is there an algo that will identify people who are getting left out during live streams? If so, you can address them? Example, if you haven't responded to someone asking several questions. Nope, I don't know of any such algo or bot, but in the future, someone may build one as a plugin. I'm not sure how it would work with the YouTube API, though. Maybe it's something I can ask Streamyard about. Deanna Troop says, hey, Roberto, I've been taking your advice seriously this year, and I've noticed a direct correlation to the number of videos I've uploaded to the number of subscribers I have. Oh, yeah, it makes a difference. I showed you guys my data. It makes a difference. It really does. Michael W. Cook says, yes, I agree with Lois. Mr. Blake's book is a good read. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you. Speaking of good reads, make sure you guys, when you're reading my book, that you're reviewing it on Amazon, but also in Goodreads. My Amazon rating is much better than my Goodreads rating. I'd like both of them to get up there. So I do appreciate you guys. Model Chick NY Luxury for Less says, Roberto, I'm trying to increase shorts videos as they're easier to keep consistent as far as uploads. Yep, that's true. My audience doesn't seem to like shorts, and I've lost subscribers. How do I balance it? When you upload the shorts, upload them as private first, then go into YouTube, and then make sure that you uncheck the box that notifies subscribers, and that will help you. And then it'll be slower, but it will organically find people that enjoy the short form content. So there's that. Deanna Tripp asks, what is NAB? NAB is the National Association of Broadcasters, and it is a show that happens in Vegas yearly. And I'm going to be speaking at that event. It is a huge event. A lot of brands will be there. Adobe will be there. I'll be there with my sponsor, OpusClip. B&H Photo Video will be there. So that's going to be dope. The website for overseas editors and freelancers is onlinejobs.ph, onlinejobs.ph, as in Philippines. So it'll mostly be people in the Philippines. Alex Hernandez says, I'm fluent in both languages and I can translate. I have long form videos, soccer related. Oh, I've helped soccer channels before. Yeah. Related documentaries. And I've built a queue of specific audience to sports teams, but I want to get the whole league. I need help. Then I might be able to help you. I might be able to help you with one-on-one coaching, or, maybe you're a candidate to join the Academy Pro group. For anyone interested in coaching though, coaching one-on-one with me. Some of you don't know I offer that. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. I believe there's a link in the description of this video. So I'm going to leave you guys the info here to do coaching with me. So it's in the chat now. You should be able to see it. And that information is over at my website, awesomecreatoracademy.com. Deanna Troop says, oh my God, Roberto, that makes me feel better. I was racking my brain to try to figure out how to get my shorts folks to watch my long form stuff. Yeah, no, I think you guys should focus on getting the shorts audience to watch 3 shorts from you in a row instead. So I think you should use the related videos link to link to another short, and then another short, and then another short, and keep this virtuous cycle going and get people out of the random shorts feed and then watching your videos, because that's an engagement signal to YouTube that says, okay, let's keep hitting this viewer up again. And then the other thing is, when people want to watch long form, YouTube will know that, and then it'll put long form videos from you in front of them, knowing when they want to watch that and what they might watch in long form for you. So the thing is, it will eventually, if you use my strategy, and this has worked for my gaming clients a lot, but also some of my other clients in different niches, but especially the gamers, if you get people to binge watch 3 to 5 shorts in a row from you, inevitably YouTube figures out what long form content of yours to put in front of them later. And when they want to watch long form content, when they've watched other long form videos, then it'll know what to put in front of them from you that will fit that viewer. So your goal should not be to get people to try to watch your long form stuff. Besides, if people watch 3 to 5 shorts in a row, it's the same amount of watch time as if they watch a regular video. Most of the time, because most people will watch only 3 to 5 minutes on average of any video on YouTube. That's the site-wide average. So just getting them to watch 3 to 5 shorts in a row accomplishes the same thing. So I would just go with the strategy of getting your shorts viewers to watch 3 to 5 shorts from you in a row. And that was a better engagement signal to YouTube than them going from your short form to your long form and then clicking off in 30 seconds because of their low attention span. When someone's watching shorts, usually they're in bed, they're in the passenger seat of a car, they're on a walk, they're on their couch, they're in the restroom. So they're in a low agency mode at that point, and they just want to waste some time. If you're trying to get them from a short to a long form, they're in shorts brain mode now. Just get them from short form to short form. Don't try and change their mind. Go ahead and give them what they want. So that's the psychology for it. Sean Park says, question, Roberto, you're such an underrated interviewer. Do you plan to interview any creators at NAB, or do you have any plans for future interviews? Yes, I have several. I'm releasing an interview with one of my clients, A-Drive, who sent me a copy of his gold play button. If you guys have been following me on Instagram and Twitter, you've seen the unboxing of A-Drive's gold play button. I might release that the unboxing on the channel or as a YouTube short. So I have one of my clients' gold play buttons. I'm actually talking to 2 more of my clients to get their gold play buttons. We have several Academy Pro members that have silver play buttons, and they're going to be sending them to me. You can't see it in the background right now because I have the background blurred, but I actually even changed my shelving. If I adjust the camera here, you can see it a little bit better. But I adjust the shelving back here to where I have my play button, one of my clients' play buttons, the old version of my play button, and we're gonna on the bookcase basically do a Hall of Fame. We're basically gonna do a Hall of Fame on the bookcase, and the Academy Hall of Fame on the bookcase is just gonna showcase my play buttons and play buttons from our Academy members, and a couple of things. I'm gonna still keep the Stormtrooper helmet, but we're gonna like do that more. And so in the videos, you'll be seeing more of the play buttons as they come in. So eventually, I believe Cassandra from Becoming a Farm Girl, she's sending her silver play button. When YouTube gets her, I'll get a copy of it. I'll get a copy of her play button. I believe I talked to Vicky. If I haven't, she'll be getting hers for her medical coding channel. So she'll be doing that. Ben will be doing it from his quiz show channel. So we have maybe 3 more silver play buttons. I've got to talk to Ken about his gold play button and maybe a silver, because we helped him get both of those. So we have, we're building out the Hall of Fame. Now, the thing is, the shelves can't house a gold play button. So the gold play buttons will probably find their way to the library, because I have a space in the library that might work for them until I do the drywall for the art studio. And then as we get more play buttons, then they'll find their way probably into the art studio. So that we don't overwhelm the different spaces, but it'll be nice to have them in the different spaces as we keep doing that. If we end up with too many, which would be a good problem to have, then I'll put them on the wall that's above this desk, even though that won't be as visible as many times. We'll still have it. So maybe it'll show up in B-roll or something. But yeah, we're working on the Academy Hall of Fame, and I'm interviewing more of the creators that I helped get silver and gold play buttons. They're going to be interviewed on my podcast channel. My goal is also to interview a bunch of creator economy founders. So I have an audio interview for the podcast with Nathan Barry from ConvertKit, the CEO of ConvertKit. Great guy and everything. I've enjoyed getting to know Nathan a lot. So we did the CEO of ConvertKit. I have an interview lined up this year with the CEO of Kajabi, believe it or not, one of our sponsors. I want to get the CEO and co-founder of Streamyard, which we probably will before the end of the year. I have some lofty goals. I think I can get the CEO of Licked, which is one of the music licensing platforms. So I think I can pull that one off, because we've talked before. So yeah, I have plans to try and get a lot of the CEOs from the creator economy companies and some of the founders for the apps and appliances. Possibly more YouTube employee interviews will be happening. And like I said, creators that have helped get silver and gold play buttons. Also some other creators that you may be familiar with. We have a lot of audio interviews. We have an audio interview with iJustine. I'm dropping clips from the video interview, especially ones I generate with OpusClip. And so those are coming out. Yeah, there's a lot of people I'd love to interview. I'd also love your thoughts on who you'd like to see me interview. I'd also like to interview people who aren't obvious. I think Colin and Samir do great interviews, and they interview the biggest creators. And so does John Yushai, and they're great. And I've met them. They're all lovely people. It'd be nice to interview them, to be honest with you, to some degree, about interview some interviewers. So that'd be dope. But I want to interview people that most people aren't looking at. So I think a lot of the creator economy founders are a big deal. I think a lot of my own coaching clients in weird different niches. Like I've coached so many people to silver and gold play buttons in different niches, and they all have different insights, different approaches. And I think a lot of them, the things I'd love to talk with people about as far as creators, I'd love to talk with them about their schedule, their work-life balance, and their family dynamics a lot. I like to talk about money and the monetization piece a lot. I want to talk about their workflows, not just their strategies. Like, what is a day? Like, what do you guys do? How do you set up the stuff? Like, how many people are you employing? How do you run your team? How'd you find your team? How'd you hire? Who in your family supported you? Who didn't? And everything like that. What's an unfair advantage you think you had when you got started? What would you do differently if you were starting today? What do you think is the biggest problem with the platforms? What do you think is the psychological impact of social media? How do you feel about parasocial relationships? Have you ever had a problem with people not respecting your boundaries? As a creator, with your relationship with the audience, has a brand ever done something that made you never want to work with them again? These are kind of things that I want to talk to creators about. I don't hear those questions as often as I would like in the interviews. So I'd love to interview more creators about that. I'd love to interview Jack Conte from Patreon and see what's coming next down the pipeline over there. So we'll see what happens. I have a lot of great interviews lined up. I have a lot of great guests. I have a wonderful network of people that do me the honor of talking to me. And I think that this year is going to be more to come. So future looks bright. Thanks for that question. I like that question, Sean. And thanks, guys, for the compliments on the interviews, on being an interviewer, and on being an author and writing the book. That actually means quite a lot to me. And those are things I worked really hard at because they weren't necessarily the thing that I'm known for or a natural fit. But I do like being acknowledged for them. And it's something that I think is a little bit more rare. Oh, I want to interview Chris Do, and I could because I'll probably text him. I want to interview Chris Do, and I want to have Pat Flynn back on the channel as well. Since Deep Pocket Monster is almost to 1 million subs now. And I helped train the 3 people there on the team for Deep Pocket Monster. They were all members of my Awesome Creator Academy Pro group from the very beginning. So Jason, Dan, and Zach, they were all Awesome Creator Academy Pro group members. They went and they worked for my friend Pat Flynn on Deep Pocket Monster. Deep Pocket Monster has been blowing up. It's going to hit 1 million subscribers in under 3 years in the Pokemon niche, and Pat had no clout and no experience in the Pokemon niche. It's great. So love seeing that happen for him. Linda's DIY by Design says, question, Roberto, I've considered heavily having you do a channel review for me. Have you had a lot of experience with DIY channels and helping them improve their format and stats? Actually, yes. But more importantly, I've also helped DIY channels improve their workflows and their systems, and when things need to be outsourced, how to approach that process. Also, how to make the filming take much, much less time. Because everyone keeps forgetting I used to do tutorial channels. I'm a big camera guy and nerd. I know a lot of workflow stuff, editing hacks, film production hacks, the equipment. I know how to make the setup much more efficient for a lot of things. And I also know how to milk multiple pieces of content out of a DIY project. And I know how to also approach potential short form options where you can get something out of that from long form. There's a lot I can probably do to help you with a DIY channel. And I've helped DIY channels before. In fact, one of the trophies we have is from Jen over at Sewing Report, which is a DIY channel in the sewing niche. I've helped crafters before. I believe we have a crafter who got a silver play button, but we definitely have a DIY sewing channel with a silver play button. So yeah, I absolutely feel confident that I can help you with one-on-one coaching in your niche for DIY projects. You just have to tell me what you're focused on. We can talk monetization. We can talk workflow and systems. We can talk hiring out if that's what you're after. We can talk content strategy and your content pillars, your idea generation, planning the content calendar throughout the year, what's working, what's not. We can absolutely take a look at any of that. I think that'd be dope, though. I think that'd be dope. Be nice to also get another DIY play button on the wall. Deanna says, just D is fine. All right. There you go. Gotcha. Michael Cook says, NAB is the big leads. NAB is the big leagues. Congratulations. Yep. Ricardini 21 says, question, Roberto, ever since I partnered in February, my shorts views seem cut in half and subs declined. Is this common? In February, there's a lot of things that happened in February that didn't have anything to do with you, but there's just some platform-wide changes and things like that. There's also, as you go into March, you go into a new quarter at the end of March in terms of distribution, things like that. Advertising takes a hit, trends take a hit, shorts change with trends and viewing patterns and viewing behaviors. So the thing is, the views are really unreliable, even compared to normal YouTube. So with shorts, it's a fickle audience, very much so. Moises Flores Alia says, Roberto, thank you for the great job. I'm growing thanks to you. Question, to get more ad revenue, is it okay to set more ad breaks in the video in the monetization tab? Helps or damage the reach of the video? It doesn't hurt the reach of the video. The main thing is just to make sure that wherever you put the manually placed ads, that you're optimizing for the viewer experience to be the best that it can be, and that will be very helpful to you. Red Talk Anna says, do brands favor evergreen content? Yes, because they can bring them evergreen traffic and evergreen dollars. So very much yes. This also works for affiliate marketing too, by the way. Red Talk Anna says, oh, I want to go to NAB. Yeah, NAB is going to be dope. I'm going to really enjoy it. Texas Goddess says, Roberto, your tips are actually useful. Well, I'm glad to hear that. When will you do another channel review analysis to help struggling channels? You and the other gentleman gave great people advice as you critique channels. Oh, so that was me and Viper. I'm going to try to do one at least once a month and like announce it. So we'll try and do once a month. Maybe I'll even do a giveaway once a month when I do channel reviews. And something like that, especially since we get so many super chats. So maybe doing a giveaway of some kind will be dope to do during that time. So, yep, I really do think that we might try to do it once a month. So we'll see. I just have to be up for it. And man, is it draining? So we'll see. I will try my best, though. I will try. Encrypted Angels. Thanks so much. Says, hey, everybody, Roberto's amazing to work with one-on-one. Worked with him personally in the past on a previous channel. Huge help since we've rebranded. Yeah, no problem. Victor says, question, hi, Roberto. I want to upgrade my microphone for videos. Got any recommendations? Several. The microphone I'm currently using is the Shure SM7B, and this is basically the Joe Rogan microphone. This is basically the podcast microphone of choice for YouTubers. Some people do this and basically use it as a handheld microphone, and you can see how that's causing me all kinds of focus issues right now. But yeah, this microphone is dope. It does really good on voice and noise isolation. It's got that podcaster vibe to it. It's got the richness to it. It is expensive though. It is a basically $400 microphone, and then you might end up having to buy a preamp. But you can also buy the $500 version, which is the Shure SM7DB, and that has built-in preamps. So then no additional accessory required for that one. Now there is a cheaper version of this, and I believe it's the M7X, and I think that's $279 and has a USB component to it as well. So I think USB Type-C. So I travel with that one myself, and I find it to be very useful. So yeah, I would say that when it comes to that sort of thing, investing the most money you can in a good microphone is worth saving up for. Audio ends up becoming much more important to most people than video quality. So the thing is, if I had to throw $500 at something, it's the microphone. Now, lighting doesn't necessarily cost $500 to get some of the best lighting, especially when you can use the Elgato panel lights. They're about $150 a pop. Ring lights, if you don't wear glasses, can be $80 to $100. So not a lot of money to have to throw there. If you fix lighting and audio, you can always deal with camera and lenses much later. Although I do recommend getting, really good glass at some point like this. 35 millimeter or 20 millimeter lens, you can see what the results are from doing that. So would definitely recommend there. But for microphones, I think this is really good. I'm going to be doing a test of comparing multiple wireless microphones because I did end up getting the DJI wireless microphone system. I haven't used it yet. I also got the DJI Osmo because I'm going to do a video on budget budget cameras under like $600 or something, and it's one of them. So there is that. So yeah. Now, if you want super budget microphones that can be good, Deity Microphones has good microphones at a budget, but I'm not going to lie. The best bang for the buck is the Shure SM7B or the Shure SM7DB or the Shure M7X. Now, if you want a really cheap solution and you don't mind holding a mic up to your face, you can get the Shure SM58, which is an interview mic that costs $50, and it's XLR. You can either get XLR to audio jack, 0.35 millimeter, or if you have an XLR adapter, you plug that in. And the thing is, it's an interview man on the street microphone. So either of those can be a really good option. Cheapest option for a lot of you on the budget is to get a Sony wired lapel mic and just get a long auxiliary extension cable, a long aux extension cable, and run that directly into your camera. I did this when I was a small YouTuber, used to just pin it to my shirt, and this got me really good audio, easy to edit. for like 20, 30 bucks. So I did that when I was a brokey and it worked out great. So that's the budget equivalent of doing all that. Closer you can get your microphone to your mouth, the better. Heaney Holland says, hello, Roberto. I have an audio-only podcast getting ready to bring it over to YouTube. Any video style ideas you can suggest aside from static image? My topics are controversies about ancient history. Okay, so great. I would recommend that you get Streamyard, linked in the description down below, and that you do what I do, and you put up slides that you can make in Canva. And so when you can do slides in Canva and you can bring those up during your live stream in StreamYard, it actually goes a long way to make your thing much more interesting. And then you can also bring up chat bubbles like I'm doing right now so that you can interact with the audience. So I think that all of those things would actually be really good for you. And so I think that that would help with your particular podcast. I also do like this idea of topics about ancient history and controversies or conspiracies about ancient history. That's actually a really dope idea. Red Talk Anna says, do you think storytelling is better in person or faceless? It depends on the channel. Magnates Media, Wendover Productions, and Dodford do a great job with faceless storytelling, but then you have people like Casey Neistat who do a great job with in-person storytelling. So it really just depends on the content, depends on the creator, depends on the circumstances, depends on how good an editor they are, depends on how good of a presenter, public speaker, performer they are. So it really just depends on your skill set. ZoloQ says, Roberto, what are some tips for conducting interviews with game devs? I was lucky enough to do so recently, but I've noticed I was super nervous and seemed a bit too stressed. How can I create a better environment? This is a great question. So you need to identify things that make you nervous, and you need to work on that. Figure out whether you need to have coffee, a snack, or some tea to calm your nerves or something like that. Some people have a glass of wine and that helps calm them down. So that's one thing to just eliminate your anxiety. Two, the more prepared you go into an interview, the less anxious you are. So I like to have my questions already figured out. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't give my interviewee the questions in advance. Just, heads up. Sometimes I'll give it to them right then and there when we do the interview so that they know what the questions could be. And then they don't feel ambushed or blindsided, but they're like, okay, I didn't prep for these questions, but I at least know what they are. So sometimes that is helpful. But a lot of it is just practice and also preparation. I would say practice, preparation. And I would also say that just bringing a positive attitude to the situation, all of those things go a long way. And so, yeah, practice, preparation, positivity. I think you'll be okay. Terrence in the Wild says, question, Roberto, I want to start posting my UGC examples to YouTube Shorts. Would you recommend posting on Instagram, same videos, or focus on YouTube? If it's a portfolio, the thing is, I would need to know more details about the brands you're targeting to give you a realistic answer about that, because it depends on the brand you're targeting and what content they're making. Because the thing is, you want to parallel and you want to improve upon the style of content the brand is making. And so I don't know that this is a question that I can easily just answer in a live stream, just because it requires so much more context from you, and we may not have time. PM Artist Studio asks, how many cameras am I currently running with the stream? Camera A, which is the Sony a6600 with a 35 millimeter lens. Camera B, which is the Sony ZV-E10 with a 20 millimeter lens. Technically, I don't have it hooked up right now, but there is a third camera that doesn't exist. And then camera 4 is just my secondary monitor, which is usually for slide presentations or screen sharing in a different way. So, yep. Principal A says, hi, Roberto. For a new YouTube channel about coaching and teaching, do you recommend video quantity over quality to build authority in the algorithm faster? Thank you. Not authority in the algorithm, but authority with the audience in terms of surface area, meaning I would focus on initially thinking about 100 questions or issues that the beginner that I want to reach. Like I'd probably make 60% of my stuff for beginners, 30% of my stuff for intermediates, 10% of my people for 10% of my stuff for people who are expert or experienced or at equal level to me. And I'd make 100 videos in the first year. So my thing is, if I'm doing an education-based YouTube channel in general, if I'm doing an education-based YouTube channel, the general rule is make 100 videos in the first year, which is 2 videos a week minimum, and never, ever, ever miss a week or only take 1 week off minimum. So 2 videos a week on average for an entire year to make your first 100 videos, mostly all evergreen, all search friendly on your subject matter, with 60% of your videos being for absolute beginners that are just trying to find simple questions, simple answers, step-by-step processes, 30% for intermediates that have slightly more advanced questions, but also want detailed information, maybe even case studies, examples, or experiments, and then advanced knowledge that demonstrates results you've produced. And that should be 10% of the videos for a small fraction of the audience. So 60% beginner, 30% intermediate, 10% advanced. And that's the content strategy that we develop for education-based content channels. So everyone who works with me, that's the approach that we use. We do 100 videos in a year. We do 2 uploads a week minimum. That balances the cadence of quality and quantity to be enough. We usually try to create a static enough setup so that they can duplicate their work. This means having a dedicated filming space, controlled lighting, controlled audio, and keeping the information direct, simple, no fluff. That the editing is what it needs to be, not overwhelming. We try to limit the creator to having very specific domain knowledge and not spending more than 5 hours to 10 hours tops editing a single video, and not more than 1 to 2 hours in production. And that's because we're working with mostly working class creators. So they only have 10 to 20 hours a week to work on their content. So we try to minimize the turnaround on videos to a video from beginning to end can't take more than 5 hours. They don't do it all at once. They have production days, research days, editing days, and so on and so forth. They spread this out throughout their week, or they do it all on their days off on their weekend. And so they only work 10 to 20 hours on their content. It's education content, and they put 2 videos out a week, 100 videos for the year. And so this is the workflow and strategy. And this is how they don't burn out. This is how they can still do their 9-to-5 job. This is how they can still, spend time with their family if they have one, not get hit upside the head with the frying pan in the marriage. So like, that's how we approach it. Super practical, by the numbers. And that's kind of with an education channel. If you're working a full-time job, that's probably the best realistic way to do it. Instead of trying to make everything perfect, doing unlimited editing time, giving yourself a hard deadline and constraint, setting boundaries in your life so that you are doing all your other responsibilities, being there for your family. So like for a working class content creator, I do not prescribe quality over quantity. Quality over quantity is something I consider to be exclusive to full-time creators with a staff and team that can pull that off for them. So you have to be in that privileged position for quality over quantity to be real. I don't think quality over quantity is realistic, appropriate, or healthy for working class creators who still have a 40-hour-a-week full-time job and or have a family on top of that. I think that to do quality over quantity, I don't think it's for a working class creator. I think you have to be a full-time creator, and ideally a full-time creator with at least an editor, but ideally with a team of at least 2 other people. And so that's where it would make the most sense. So for that reason, I'm quantity, but not for algorithm, but for consistency and for building up and for incremental improvement and for a cadence of reliability, because for authority, reliability, consistency is authority. So it's not algorithmic authority. It is audience authority, though. So you're going to that relationship and that psychology. Who is the crafter? I am struggling to remember how to pronounce her channel, and I don't want to screw up the name. So I'd have to go back and check, but I can't pronounce her channel currently. But for the other DIY channel, it's Sewing Report. So Jen from Sewing Report. And there is another sewing channel I've worked with, bridal sewing, and I don't think she's quite up to a silver play button yet, but I think soon. Alvin, watch my videos on monetization, because I'm not sure how your question is worded weird. I'm not sure if it's a typo or English isn't your first language, but I would say just watch my videos on monetization. Coastal Diva says, question, Roberto, my videos sometimes have gotten ads put on them, but I'm not monetized. Could the ads be hurting my duration time because I can't seem to get much past 37? 30 to 35% on average for most videos is normal for average view durations. The ads are not hurting you. We have no empirical evidence for that. Yes, they will put ads on videos that aren't monetized. They've been doing that for 3 years now. They changed the policy 3 years ago. A lot of people thought it was to take advantage of small YouTubers. Not at all. 90% of all traffic on YouTube only goes to the top 3% of channels. The reason that they monetize videos now, no matter what, whether you're monetized or not, is because back in the day, they had to cancel a couple of YouTubers. They had to suspend their ad revenue because they got into controversy, canceled, and people were demanding accountability from YouTube. So YouTube had to slap them and say, okay, we have to demonetize your channel for 30 days or 90 days. But then no ads were running, and YouTube was losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on these creators, these big creators, these huge mega channels, demonetizing them. And YouTube got fed up with every time a creator acts up and gets canceled, YouTube loses money that they would otherwise get because they have to demonetize these people. To set an example, YouTube got fed up with that at some point and said, you know what? We're going to monetize all videos at all times if they are monetizable in general from a guidelines standpoint. And so, yeah, if we demonetize a famous YouTuber, instead of us making no revenue, we'll make double the revenue when we have to punish them for acting up and being out of pocket. So YouTube decided to stop losing money and decided to make money whenever a big YouTuber gets canceled, which was brilliant from a capitalistic standpoint. That's brilliant. And I do the same bloody thing. What took you so long? But the problem is that the negative, well, it's brilliant because it's okay, we will never lose whenever a big creator gets canceled. We will only win. Well, that's brilliant. It alienates and annoys small creators, but you can't selectively do it only to the big creators. So you have to do it to all channels. But then small creators get annoyed because they're like, well, YouTube's making money off my channel, but I'm not making money off my channel. But the reality is that YouTube doesn't make enough money off small creators to even justify hosting and bandwidth cost for that small creator. So it's not even a thing. So YouTube's not even exploiting the small creator. It's that this is how you're finally paying rent. So that's kind of the deal with that. It does rub people the wrong way. I totally get it. People miss the old days when everyone could be monetized back in 2012, but there were a lot of bad actors and people on the platform doing wild content. Some of you might remember Elsa Gate. Some of you might remember things like that. And the exploitative and vulgar channels that were targeting kids. So YouTube had to crack down on these things. And so they had to say, okay, not everyone can monetize, and here are the new rules. And they did all these different changes. And again, while it sucks, all it takes is a couple bad apples to ruin a good thing. Same thing with the larger creators getting canceled and then how that affected this right to monetize policy. So now you understand kind of what's going on. But to answer your question more specifically, 37% average view duration is pretty good because what's normal for most creators is 30 to 35. Most creators lose 30% of their audience no matter what they do, whether they run ads or not, in the first 30 seconds of a video. So that's pretty normal. PM R Studio says, what's a good mic for two people in a room streaming? Either if two people are streaming, you probably want to get two podcast microphones. So basically two Shure SM7Bs, or get two people to hold microphones. So if it's cheaper than two Shure SM58s, two Shure SM58s. So they'd be $50 a piece. That cost you $100, but you have to hold the mics the entire time. But that'd be good for streaming. You'll want to run that into some kind of XLR input system. So probably something like an M1 audio interface. Maybe that'll run you another $150. So that's about $250 live streaming audio setup, but you have to hold the microphones. Or you can also maybe buy some cheap stands. But if you're going to go that route, then maybe get the Shure M7s, for $150 a piece. Get microphone arms or stands for 2 people on the podcast, run those into an XLR. And so for an XLR input interface, maybe get an M1 audio interface for that, or a cheaper Rode interface, maybe even the Rode Duo for that. So if you were going to do that, that might cost you all in, that might cost you $500-$600, but it is the best quality audio experience for your viewers if you go that route. So that's why I would recommend that. Encrypted Angel says, Roberto, what would you recommend for budget pro lighting, especially for a small space? I'm so over the ring light thing, ready to upgrade. So I would recommend Elgato lights like what I have on my desk, and they're mounted to the desk. If you have a small space, you can mount them to your desk as long as your desk is flat. So I would do that. Aside from that, aperture lights on a stand with wheels, which is what I use behind me and over there. So aperture lights on stand with wheels, that gets pretty expensive, but totally worth it if you have the budget. So those would be my suggestions. And with the aperture lights, you don't have to get the expensive ones. You can get the Amaran. So something like the Amaran like 60D or something like that might only be $150 a light. So that could be an option. Commission Outreach Church says, hey, Roberto, have you ever worked with churches? Do you think your strategies will work in the religious space? They often can and do, but Sean Cannell and Omar Takori are better at it than me. They're much better at it, and they've had much longer experience at it. So I would recommend reaching out to Sean or Omar at Think Media because they specialize in working with churches. Michael Billup says, really good listening helps with interviews. Really listen to your subject's responses and have a good conversation about it. Absolutely. The other thing is, if my interviewee and interview subject, if they are a creator, influencer, entrepreneur, I'll listen to at least 5 hours of their previous interviews before I interview them. Do you have any Talk Podcast play button people? Actually, I think we do. I'd have to look up who it is. There's one I know we do have, but I signed an NDA. There's one that we definitely have, but I signed an NDA and I can't talk about them at all. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, we have some other ones. I'd have to think of who, but the one off the top of my head, yeah. And they're fairly substantial, but we have an NDA in place for that one. So, which was their request, which is fine. You know, larger channels can be like that sometimes. I remember this other channel that's under NDA is like a 6 million sub channel, but and they're not an English speaking channel either, which is also interesting. But yeah, I've definitely helped coach podcasters to silver or gold play buttons. So yep, absolutely. Solo Q says, do you have any thoughts on going live on Twitter? I had experience with the premium version, but now that live streaming is a thing, I feel I'm missing out on a lot of potential reach. Oh yeah, no, I think it's great. I use Streamyard, and so I'm on x.com, formerly Twitter, twitch.com, kick.com, youtube.com, facebook.com, linkedin.com. I'm on all of them. Eventually, we're going to probably also live stream to Rumble simultaneously. At some point, we're going to figure out doing portrait mode and Instagram at the exact same time. So we're working out some of those details. But yeah, x.com, definitely an opportunity. D says, Roberto, how do you find evergreen topics to talk about? That's a good question. I might make an entire live stream session about that for a FAQ Friday all-around strategy for evergreen content. What I would say about evergreen content and my approach to it is, for me, it's a little easier because I know my subject matter cold, and I can generate new versions of the way I've approached topics, and I can turn something that I've approached for a how-to, I can turn it into a 15 tips. I can turn it into a 6 best ways. I can turn it into a how to do step-by-step, how to do in 6 simple steps, how to do complete free training guide. I can extrapolate the different variations of a format. Once I have a topic even be successful one time, I can break it into 8 different formats that I can reapproach. So that's really cool. The other thing that helps me find evergreen content is my chat in live streams and my comments on my videos. So that's actually extremely helpful. The other thing is I'm always a student of experience. And so I'm always experiencing new things and then going, oh, gee, that'd be interesting. And then I find ways to talk about that. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I bet you will always have that as a problem. So there is things like that. So I think being invested in the topic itself, or the niche itself, or the audience or community itself, being invested in the community itself will reveal topics that always come up that are evergreen. Model Chick NY says, Roberto, I started my channel for fun way back in 2008. Wow, congratulations. The past 2 years, I've been consistent with uploads. Do you think my channel is too old? Should I start a new channel for better views? No, not at all. I think that you just have to consider what you may or may not be doing the most or the best. If it's views, then views are about packaging and getting attention. So the thing is, I wouldn't necessarily try starting a new channel right away unless you're changing what you want to do, but you're doing luxury for less. So you're doing how to get luxury items, luxury brands, or near luxury items and brands on a budget and cheaper. Okay. So the thing is, I'd package videos differently. I'd consider getting a photographer and thumbnail artist and just having someone that might be better at making the packaging of the thumbnails more attractive, because this is merchandising. So since this is merchandising, I worked in marketing and advertising. This is merchandising. It's visual appeal at first. And then there's also maybe the headline writing. So the thing is, I'd work on your titles a bit more, and I'd outsource the thumbnails. If the thumbnails are not getting people to stop dead in their tracks and get them to stop scrolling, I would change my thumbnail strategy entirely to say, okay, they've got to stop scrolling. So I got to be too good to ignore on the thumbnail. I would hire a thumbnail artist whose only job is to get people to click on videos so that you can focus on delivering great quality content. So that's how I would approach it. Yeah, I would definitely approach podcasting from an evergreen position if you can. Astatine says, hey, Roberto, is it better to get a couple of part-time editors so you always have someone to meet your deadlines, or does that interfere with style and consistency to make cooks in the kitchen? It can if you don't establish systems, frameworks, and if you don't build a stylescape for exactly how your videos should present and should look. So that's a whole thing. The 30% dip at the beginning of videos, it doesn't necessarily apply to streaming channels. Streaming channels will be a case by case for sure. There's not a rule of averages on it because the formats are too different. Alex Hernandez says, Roberto, how do you put the ads you would put to right away at the start of a video, the middle 10 minutes of video? The way I do it is the default on YouTube does already do post and mid-roll ads, so I wouldn't put an ad at the beginning. I would just put one at an interesting pause or break or something more toward the middle of the video, or at like maybe the 4 or 5 minute mark, and I think that'd be okay. JC Live says, Roberto, how do you get your audience to reach how do you get your content to reach your target audience? I believe Google Ads ruined my audience because the subscribers don't watch my content. That sucks, Jace. That happens sometimes if people try to boost or promote their channels using the Google Ads thing. Don't ever do that. Never use the YouTube promote button ever. That's for brands. That's for e-commerce brands. That's for direct-to-consumer brands. It's basically for advertisers. The promote button in YouTube is for advertisers. It's not for creators. Don't use it no matter what. Don't use it no matter what. It's not for you. So what I would say is for you guys, if you've done that in the past, then if you're super, super small, maybe just start a new channel, start from scratch, and just re-upload everything. If you like got somewhere and you're like, oh man, I'm kind of close to monetize or something, then when you upload, just do not check the box for your videos to go to subscribers at that point. And then YouTube will try and find your people. But if you paid for a Google advertising to probably boost your channel, it can ruin your channel. And if you're super, super small, I'd probably just start over on a brand new channel. Clean data. We're probably going to start wrapping up here in a bit. I'm out of water and my throat is probably gone. Josh Smiler Basketball says, hey, Roberto, question. I run a 900 subscriber basketball channel aimed at helping youth players. I will start college next fall. I'd like to post a lot more business college content then. Do I start a new channel? If you have 900 subscribers, what I do, Josh, is, I'd maybe rebrand your channel and maybe it's Josh Smiler College Basketball. Or if you're a D1 athlete, I would say Josh Smiler D1 Basketball, because then people know what that is. So what I'd probably do if I were you, honestly, is I would do IRL style content. If you're going to college, and I wouldn't say, no, you want to pivot completely to college content. If you want to pivot completely to college content, all right, so maybe you drop basketball from your handle and you just go Josh Smiler, right? And at 900 subs, you're not so big that you can't pivot now. And what I would say is I'd make interesting IRL lifestyle content, even if you are doing basketball. Because you could pivot like Ryan Trahan did, but I wouldn't do Ryan Trahan's content. What I would do is if you want to talk college and you want to talk about development and you want to show people an experience in something, maybe I'd do a lifestyle channel. And I do a college lifestyle channel, get one of your friends, give one of your friends a percentage of the YouTube channel, have them follow you around with your with the camera and do IRL based content about the college experience. And also maybe even do potentially little man on the street interviews with people in college, ask them questions, ask them serious questions about planning their future, planning their life, or whatever, current events, topics, do a bunch of shorts content, do a bunch of compilations, do micro man on the street interviews, IRL, walk and talk videos, that sort of thing. Do some sit down videos with your audience, but you just tell them about what it's really like to be in college and to be pursuing the path that you're on, and so on and so forth. So I would do IRL content like that, and I would make it a lifestyle brand instead about the true college experience and careers. And then maybe that helps people. And if you're playing basketball, all the better, because you can incorporate that and go oh yeah, I'm a college athlete and I'm pursuing my future, and here's what that looks like for me. So maybe a storytelling based lifestyle channel around the college experience. People will resonate with that. And it's also coming of age. It's all the things. So that could be very good. Victor has a question. This may be one of the last questions for sure. Victor says, Roberto, why do you think YouTubers burn out and how you deal with it? Burnout is a combination of things. It could be overworking. So that could be people being perfectionist, not setting boundaries, and then being disappointed with their results because they're overworking, they're over editing, they're trying too hard on quality instead of just being consistent. So that's why I prefer the consistency and quantity, because it's set boundaries. When it's done, it's done. It only is allotted this much time. That's all I'm giving it. So that's setting boundaries. Creators burn out because they don't set boundaries. So they overwork by not setting boundaries. So that's one. They set unreasonable expectations because they keep paying too much attention to other people around them instead of only focusing on their audience and community and being grateful. So studying and watching other people's pockets, other people's views, other people's subscribers. So expectations and envy also hurt you emotionally. As a creator, you become emotionally compromised. So avoid pocket watching, subscriber watching, and view watching. Like, do not sit there and pay more attention to someone else's channel than you do to your own audience. So envy and a lack of emotional control definitely hurt a creator there because it ruins them on expectations. So let's see what else. The emotional investment in views is and subscribers and growth leads creators to become depressed, and they just get frustrated instead of engaging in the process and just being dedicated to saying, I'm going to upload X amount of videos a year for the next 3 years, and what I get is what I get, but I'll know where I stand. So just committing to the process would actually serve you much better than being depressed. So these are the sources of burnout: overworking, and not having boundaries, lack of emotional control due to envy, and then also getting depressed because you didn't emotionally divest from your results and embrace the process. If you do those things, you can counter. If you did what I suggested, you can counter burnout. The other thing is to make sure that you have hobbies outside of YouTube. Make sure that your financials are straight and that YouTube is not stressing you out financially. So maintain whatever side hustle or gainful employment is keeping the bills on. Don't rush into being a full-time content creator. Other things that burn people out is sometimes they fight so hard for attention that they create an audience and a niche or an identity or a brand that they ultimately come to despise because they outgrow it. So a lot of creators, the reality is they just outgrow their audience. They outgrow the content that they were making. They came depending on it for their livelihood, but they ultimately outgrow it. And so it provides no emotional satisfaction. And it offers them very little because the person that made that channel is not the person that had to live with that channel. So that's another reason people burn out. So the main thing is to try to make things and understand, have some vision of your life and to plan accordingly and to make sure that the brand that you're building is something you can live with. Curly Mika says, I started my channel in 2021 and I watched all your videos, did what you said. Next month, I will be 3 years on YouTube at 9,050 subscribers and at least 1,000 views on each video. Just want to say thanks. That is amazing. 90% of YouTubers never make it to 10,000 subscribers, and you're right there. So congratulations to you. Keep hustling. Yeah, the Poor Man's Passport Guide says, yeah, there are situations where you do not want to publish to subscribers and feed and notification subscribers. So I agree. Yeah, Doug, if you end up making a video about that, I'll just share it in my community tab for you. Yeah, if you do two different niches, you can still be an in-person face on camera with two different niches. People do it all the time with different channels, multiple channels. You can do it all the time. PM Artist Studio, if you are running Google Ads for your e-com site, is there a crossover to YouTube channel? If it's not the same buyers, not the same audience, then no. So I wouldn't do it. All right. Appreciate you guys. Well, that's it for today's stream. That's it for FAQ Friday. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Whoops, there goes my phone. Streamyard, OpusClip, and Kajabi, linked in the description down below. Shout out to them. Appreciate all of the support as always. Remember, you can check out everything that we offer over at awesomecreatoracademy.com. Consider becoming a member of the pro group. We do 2 office hour sessions a week, and we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which might be why I do a streaming schedule on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So make sure you're checking that out. I'm going to link it here in the chat. See, I'm out of water, so my tongue is all tied up. So I just linked that. Make sure you're checking out the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group. Just go to awesomecreatoracademy.com. Also, thank you to all of our super chatters. Thank you to everybody for the wonderful questions and for just spending time on the stream. Before you leave the stream today, make sure you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm before you leave the stream. You absolutely have to do that. And if you're not subscribed, hit that big old red subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're following me in the other platforms, make sure you're following me. You got notifications and you're checking out all the wonderful content that we have. Also, remember that we do have a free 12-week creator playbook linked in the description. You want to make sure you're getting that. I'm going to link to it here in the chat. And so you can get that free download here. So that is linked in the chat and in the description as well. I will see you guys again on Monday. I do have to fly out to NAB show on the 13th. And so between the 13th and 17th, we might be in limbo with the live streams, but we'll try and see if we can make it work. We'll figure it out. And other than that, I'm going to leave you guys with the trailer for my book. If you have not checked it out, remember, it is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, and everywhere that books are sold. And if you have bought it, if you have read it, if you did enjoy it, make sure you're leaving me a 5-star review in Amazon and in Goodreads. Stay awesome, and I will see all of you next week. Hell, maybe I'll see you guys this weekend. We'll see how I feel. I finally did it. I finished my book, Create Something Awesome, How Content Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. The book is available now in paperback and in Kindle, where you can read it on any e-reader or device. And I'm really excited about this. The audiobook is coming soon, probably October 2022. Oh my God, it's so great to be able to have this book done, put it up on the bookshelf, and to know that all of you who appreciate it, you want to hear what I have to say about the creator economy, becoming a full-time content creator, and what the experience and lifestyle of being a content creator actually is like. This is the book. I put 20 chapters in here of the most important things I think that content creators could be focusing on today. I talk about the mental health aspect of being a content creator, getting discouraged, imposter syndrome, not charging what you're worth, and mostly actionable advice around monetizing your content properly, but also how to build an audience on your authenticity and what it's really like to start from zero, even today. So if you're interested, make sure you're checking out the book. You can order it on Amazon. You also probably order it in a lot of other places like Barnes & Noble, and it will be coming to other bookstores soon. Really excited about it. Thank you for all the support and love around the book and the positive reviews. Now go ahead and pick it up and make sure you go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.